Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
It's after bedtime, the kids are asleep, and the moms are out to play.
We're Dina and Kristen, the duo behind the Instagram account Big Little Feelings. I'm Dina. I'm a child therapist and mom of two who nerds out on all things neurobiology and psychology. And Kristen is a parent coach who wrangles 3 kids on a daily basis, here to give it to us like it is.
We weren't meant to do this parenting thing alone. Consider After Bedtime your village.
Follow After Bedtime with Big Little Feelings on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. I feel like we were just talking about this, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? My dream would be to use AI to have Bon Scott sing all of the Brian Johnson AC/DC songs.
That seems to be the one that you always bring up whenever we play these strange AI versions of songs, because it's just uncanny how AI can make somebody sound like make a robot sound like a deceased singer.
Yeah, really. I mean,
in a very, very tactful way.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of us know this, but some may not know that the most popular and singer for AC/DC was Brian Johnson, but there was another dude who unfortunately passed away, who was the original lead singer, Bon Scott. And
they definitely had a lot of popularity with Bon Scott as their lead singer as well. It's like it's almost 50-50. When you think about like the success of, he did a whole lot of Rosie, did Highway to Hell, Long Way to the Top. Bon Scott definitely left his stamp with AC/DC fans.
Yeah, he did. And Brian Johnson, of course, he was the latest guy. And still, I guess, unofficially, I don't know. Goes back and forth whether he's still with the band or not with the band, depending upon what article you read. But the idea that some of Brian Johnson's songs, we could hear how they would sound with Bon Scott singing them, that's something I always wondered. I wanted to know, because the band was really popular with Brian as well. And I always wondered, like a song like Back in Black, how would that sound? And, somebody on Instagram said, BJ, here you go, buddy. Wow. Now I would have done the mix a little bit where we would have heard a little bit more of him.
Yeah. It's like, hey, kid, I guess it's like a 7-year-old on Instagram. Come on, man. You got to bump those vocals up.
Yeah. That otherwise, I think, man, what I could hear, that's incredible what they can do.
It's weird. It's so weird because it does sound a lot like Bon Scott. Oh, obviously. But it's just so strange how it's like it's getting smoother and smoother sounding.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would have hoped for. But again, with a little bit more bumping up on the vocals. But damn.
That being said, still think that, I think Brian Johnson's version is, I don't think he has anything to worry about.
Really?
I don't think deceased AI Bon Scott's going to take his job.
All right.
Not that he was worried about that.
I want to hear what live AI Bon Scott would have done. Or, well, just live Bon Scott, I suppose.
Live AI Bon. Now you just want to bring back a robot version of Bon Scott.
I want a robot Bon Scott out there. Still pretty amazing how that sounds. Wow.
I wonder if someone's probably going to want to hear the entire, because the Back in Black record, that was the record that they came back with the new singer. And I mean, talk about a punch to the face. Like, that was like a great album to, like, hey, win over the AC/DC fans. Because I mean, every song on that record is just damn amazing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if somebody decides to just do an entire Bon Scott version of that record just for, poops and giggles.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's just because we know what it sounds like with Brian that it just never will be the same no matter how good they can make Bon Scott sound, because it's not Brian.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's very, very weird.
Yeah, it's like an actor. Like, you're like, I can't see this guy being in a movie that you're so familiar with because, well, you're just so familiar with a certain actor being in that film.
Yeah, I mean, as much as a lot of people love David Lee Roth, I can't see David Lee Roth doing any of the Sammy Hagar versions. I just can't see it.
Oh, now I want to hear him do Right Now. But have an AI version just to piss David Lee Roth off because he's still around. He's like, what? I could have done it, you guys.
Yeah, could he, though? I mean, I'm thinking I'd rather hear AI David Lee Roth as opposed to some of the stuff I've heard from David these days. So, I wouldn't mind hearing that, though. That would be interesting. All right, here's a question for you. How is it possible that a guy accidentally called 911 on himself? Well, Steve's going to tell you how this all happened. He's got the Migs report for you at 6:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Needless to say, you don't play favorites, but every family has a natural unspoken hierarchy, and always has. At least when it comes to claiming your place in the car. You know how it goes. The one with the longest legs, you're up front. Congratulations. The shortest kid, you're in the way back. And the nicest sibling with the best attitude, right smack dab in the middle. Sorry, buddy. Is it usually the mild-mannered middle child? You bet. They're such a good sport. Is it fair, comfortable, and enjoyable for all? Absolutely not. Until now. Finally, the first ever Lexus TX is a 3-row SUV where everybody wins. With intuitive tech, cup holders for all, loads of elbow room, cargo room, and leg room. For everyone, no matter where they sit. This is a new era of 3-row luxury. The Lexus TX. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle.
Well informed on the issues of the day? Not this guy. Live from the KISW News Center in downtown Seattle, this is the Migs Report.
Well, thanks, you guys. Thanks to Palace Law for giving us the Migs Report today. It's a very special day. Get out your books, kids. It's National Read a Book Day.
All right.
I actually went to the Puyallup Library yesterday.
What?
It was very exciting. Well, we had to bring back some books that we, what do you call it? Loaned, rented? Like, how does that work? I don't even know.
Checked out.
Borrowed.
Borrowed.
Yeah,
that's it, yeah.
We had to bring some books back that we borrowed for Tatum, because Tatum likes going to the library with Mom. Dad, this is the first time I stepped foot in a library, and I don't even know how long, man. It's probably 20 years, dude. It was fun. It's definitely a place that parents just bring their kids, I've realized. I don't even know if anyone else goes to the library. It was like all kids playing, and there are all these, I mean, everywhere you go, there's kids' books. I think they figured out what their audience is. It's children.
Yeah.
And cheap parents that don't want to keep buying their kids books, which we're part of, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's a good value, because those kids love those books, and they ain't cheap.
But yeah, and then they're like, hey, you got to bring them back in 3 weeks. I'm like, how are we going to finish these books in like 3 weeks? I realized they're children's books. We finished them in in 5 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know why I was so stressed. I'm like, babe, are we going to have enough time to finish these books? She's like, get out, noob.
Yeah. Are we going to have time? There's pictures all over the place. I think we can do this.
It's also Fight Procrastination Day, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get to that later.
I'm not sure. Hey. Lady.
All right. Let's talk about this guy who's got in a little bit of trouble because, well, he called 911, and it turns out he called 911 on himself and didn't even realize it.
Oh.
Idiot driver. He was a drunk driver, and he called the cops while he was driving drunk because he wanted to let them know that somebody was driving on the wrong side of the road coming towards him on a highway that was in Nebraska. Well, it turns out he's the one that was on the wrong side of the road, and that's why cars were coming at him.
Oh, boy.
So here's the 911 call.
I'm on Highway 77 going north, and there is somebody that is on the wrong side of the road. He had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road.
Yeah, he had his brights on because you were on the wrong side of the road, and they're trying to let you know.
Yeah.
Well, the cops show up, and the cops had a fun interaction with this drunk guy. Here's the audio of that.
Do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Were you the one that called in?
Yep.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the road, bro.
But it turned out it was you.
Yep.
Yep. I'm the idiot for many reasons. Yep.
And I'm drunk.
I feel like he had that moment of clarity right there. Yeah, I'm the dumbass. Thanks.
And I called you on me, and now I'm in big trouble.
Here are my hands. Please put the handcuffs on me.
Yeah, at that point, you got to be like, okay, it's over.
Now, I know BJ and Danny, you were just on a flight, so I know you guys fly a lot. Yeah. And I'm sure you've had to deal with a lot of stupid stuff, from obviously the crying babies to sometimes maybe an annoying drunk passenger or the chatty passenger who wants to know your life story on the next 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I've experienced those as well. You never know. Or maybe been guilty of doing those. But I don't think anyone has experienced this for a flight. This might be the worst flight of all time. There was a flight going from Atlanta to Barcelona, and they had to turn around because of a biohazard issue.
What?
Now, what was that biohazard issue? Well, here's the pilot talking to air traffic control.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
Yes, you heard it correctly.
Oh, no.
Somebody, cha-cha-cha, diarrhea.
No.
What does that mean? All the way through the airplane? Were they just walking the aisles, letting it go?
They probably were trying to get to a bathroom. They wouldn't let him use the bathroom, probably because they were like, well, it's too early, sir. And they're like, okay.
Dude, it was 2 hours into the flight, and they had to turn it around.
Oh, 2 hours. Okay. That's plenty of time to use the bathroom.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they had to get everybody off the plane and deep clean the plane.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I would not be very happy if I'm trying to go to Barcelona. You're probably excited. Maybe it's a vacation, or maybe you're going back home, you're visiting family, and all of a sudden you got diarrhea cha-cha-cha over here going all over the aisles.
Well, did they land somewhere else, or did they have to go 2 hours back the other direction?
They made a note. They had to make an emergency landing back in Atlanta.
So they had to go 2 hours with diarrhea one way, then 2 hours the other. Oh, God. Oh, that's horrible.
I don't know. How do you feel if you're the person, though? I mean, look, it sucks for everybody. It's an awful situation. Some would say crappy. But, at the end of the day, you're the person who did that. You're already dealing with stomach issues. It's already embarrassing, and now you're the reason why we had to turn the plane around.
Yeah, it depends on what stage I am in the old cha-cha-cha. Because I might still be hurting. And I'm sorry, people, but right now, I got to do I'll be right back.
Yeah, can I get a seatbelt and just put me in the bathroom? I'll just stay there for the rest of the flight.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Oh, man.
I know, that sucks.
All right, we got to head on over to Adventure Bay because I've got a Paw Patrol story for you guys.
Yay! Okay.
Obviously, that's my kid's favorite show. But they're actually in the news, not for being fun for children, but apparently being fun for adults. A bunch of Paw Patrol snacks for kids had to be recalled after somebody realized that the URL on the packaging was leading people to a porn site.
What?
Porn Patrol. Porn Patrol. Ryder and his team of porn stars.
This has got to be a disgruntled employee.
Somebody believes actually what happened was they forgot to renew the website that I guess it's some kind of website that it goes for like kids stuff or whatever, and it wasn't renewed. So somebody might have grabbed that website and thought it'd be funny to hyperlink it to a porn site. And so that's exactly what happened.
Oh, okay.
So it went to like a page with some explicit images, and of course somebody online was like, "What's the URL? I need to make sure my kids don't see it."
Of course, This is very important.
Though it's not linking to a porn site anymore. Bummer, I guess.
Oh, come on.
Who's even like going to those websites? I've never once went to a website that was on like a snack bag.
Yeah, I might have been that guy back in the day where you want to go get all the free stuff you could get. Maybe there's free stuff over here.
Oh, yeah, it's a solid point.
Yeah.
Well, they got free stuff.
Yeah, it could be whatever. But yeah, usually it's just nothing but, just more spam and scam.
You're like, what the hell is Chase and Sky doing in this video?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, Porn Patrol. Okay.
All right, do we have to talk about the Mariners? Seems like even one texter said you guys were off for a few days, and apparently the Mariners were as well.
Dude, well, like when we were like coming into last week, we were so excited, but it's starting to get real. It's starting to get really tough because like the Reds are a good team and they're showing it.
Yeah, and you know what, though? I mean, you're going to hit some slumps every once in a while. It's not the end of the world. I mean, yeah, the Mariners have lost, I think, 4 of their last 6. Not doing very well against the Cincinnati Reds. Yesterday was a real pain in the behind. Not like, diarrhea on a plane pain in the behind, but still a pain in the behind when you're up, and then your bullpen just kind of blows it for you. You end up losing 7-6. I mean, Rodriguez looked good. Our dude, Teoscar Hernandez, continuing to hit the ball, though.
He's doing his job.
Dude, he's creeping up on 270.
I know. This is a hell of a season, which is why, man, oh man, if Munoz can't figure this out, I mean, it really is. Oh man, we got to get him closer ready.
Of course, the Mariners are having a little bit of a slump, and it's a perfect time for the Astros to get hot. They're playing really well right now. So now they have the wild. Now they're in first place in the AL West. They have a 1-game lead on us. So still, I mean, obviously, it's the season's not done. We're second in the wild card spot. So if the season ended today, BJ, we'd still be in the playoffs.
That's it.
That's all that matters, right? So now they got one more game against the Reds. Hopefully, they could beat them today. And that game's at, I think, at like 3:30 this afternoon. And Logan Gilbert is on the mound for the Mariners.
Yeah, well, being second in the wild card isn't bad either. We actually would like to be first in the wild card. What am I talking about? Never mind. You want to be Tampa Bay because then you get to host all 3 games. That's the thing, really. Yeah.
Tampa Bay's got a little bit of a lead in that wild card spot.
Yeah, they're kind of good.
Just a tad bit of a lead. As far as weather, it's going to be 71 degrees. It's going to be sunny today. So enjoy your day, whatever you decide to do. And thanks to Olympic Hot Tub for giving us a Migs report. And that's what's up. Maybe go to the Puyallup Washington State Fair.
Yeah, come on.
Went there. That was a blast.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw pictures, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, because I stopped at the greatest popcorn place in the world. That's Lumberjack Popcorn was there now. That's pretty exciting. I was excited to get a bag. But I'm more excited to watch Tatum enjoy all the rides. It was pretty awesome, dude. But we made a very bad choice. We decided to go on Labor Day.
Oh, I bet that was busy.
I have never seen the parking lot that full in the middle of the day. Obviously at night for a concert or, on the weekends. We never go on the weekends. We're like, you know what? Let's just go today. And the weather's not that great, but so hopefully it won't be that bad. But I think everyone had that exact same mindset because usually when you pull into the parking lot, like you kind of go down a few miles. All of a sudden they're sending you the opposite direction. Like, oh yeah, you got to park all the way to the back. I was like, oh man, we're screwed.
Oh boy.
I was a blast though still. I mean, Tatum had a good time, painted her face. That stuff's not cheap.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, they know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, they got you pay to get the face painted stands. And then they also have like a free face paint thing, but there's a massive line. So then all of a sudden you're like, well, is it worth my time or my money? Next thing you know, $15 later, I'm getting my kid's face painted.
Wow. That's $15.
Yeah.
How long does it take to do, by the way? Because that's I'm thinking if it takes them like 15 minutes, you're making some good cash if that line keeps going.
BJ, it takes maybe 45 seconds.
Oh,
this guy was good. He's quick. I mean, it looked awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it was like in and out. $15 later, and that was like for the small little like a little mermaid on her cheek. Like some of these people had like the crazy like tiger faces. Tatum wanted one of those, and we're just like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, is that even more expensive?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, man.
And also then you have just this giant tiger face on your face for however long it takes until it starts coming off. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Even when you give her a bath, it's still like that. The airbrushing is still on your face.
Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, tiger face would have been a lot to explain.
Wait till she gets a little bit older and she gets into the henna stuff because that's what Lily was into when she was here this summer. And that, I mean, don't get me wrong. They are amazing at doing henna, but it's like weeks. 2 times the price. And it lasts for weeks, yes.
Yeah, it stays on them forever.
Yeah.
I was thinking how funny it would be if we all went to the Washington State Fair and all got tiger face paints.
Aww.
Oh, yeah.
And then had to come to work still with it on. Just hang out at the station, pull into the parking garage, everything. Like your whole life now, you just have this like tiger face on for like the next day.
It would be odd just to see people looking at you go, what are you?
Not to mention just walking around the fairgrounds like 6 grown adults with, adults I use very,
Yeah. I think, that word will be taken away from us as soon as they see us with our tiger face paints.
I mean, we could do different things. Someone could be a lion.
All right. You know what? We can all be our own animal.
I mean, within reason, yes.
Within reason. They're probably going to cost me more, though. I have a lot more head to paint.
Then it would cost, I'm not going to do the full skull. It's just the face, man. That'd be awesome if they did.
By my forehead's high. I mean, you know, how high do they go? You know, they usually go to the hairline. With me, they're probably going to be like, oh, we got to charge you double, sir.
You know, I didn't bother to look at the pricing. I don't know, like, if there's a different price for children or adults, or if they just have, like, a cap. Like, dude, you're too old for this. Don't even bother.
Yeah. Oh, it's this guy. I got to get more paint. No, you're going to have to. It's going to be more money for you, pal. Yeah, $15 for a kid. It's got to be at least $25 for us. There's more face to paint. Well, if you got like a kid that likes to eat snacks a lot, and then all of a sudden it's got a bigger face. I mean, are they going to charge more for that? Probably not. That'd be if they paid you by your face for your snacks.
Hold on, we got to measure your face first.
M&M's for the bigger face people. That'll be double the price, sir. Oh, man. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
How many current NFL teams have never made it to the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go 1.
No.
2.
No.
3.
No.
So close. Hey, at least we're not one of them. That's cool. 4 teams have not been to the Super Bowl. 4 teams. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got a 206-803-ROCK. Beat Migs at 647.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. What's the difference between filing for bankruptcy and credit counseling?
Credit counseling is a useful process in some circumstances, but it does show up on your credit. In fact, from a credit scoring standpoint, credit counseling shows up just like a bankruptcy, so it's going to affect your credit as negatively as filing bankruptcy. In credit counseling, the idea is that a credit counselor works with your creditors on your behalf to try to lower interest rates or work out payment plans with your creditors to pay back your debt over time. In credit counseling, you almost always pay back 100% of the debt, sometimes at lower interest. And of course, some creditors will participate in that process and some won't. So you're usually left with kind of a mixed result with credit counseling and, of course, a high payment.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
O'Reilly. It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. Our professional parts people will test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you dealing with a personal injury? Don't go it alone. Turn to the experienced team at Phillips Law Firm. Their attorneys have helped thousands of clients get the compensation they deserve. Call Phillips Law Firm now. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
It's after bedtime, the kids are asleep, and the moms are out to play.
We're Dina and Kristen, the duo behind the Instagram account Big Little Feelings. I'm Dina. I'm a child therapist and mom of 2 who nerds out on all things neurobiology and psychology. And Kristen is a parent coach who wrangles 3 kids on a daily basis, here to give it to us like it is.
We weren't meant to do this parenting thing alone. Consider After Bedtime your village.
Follow After Bedtime with Big Little Feelings on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Got ourselves a new shirt in the Rock Shop. It's the KISW Summer Tee. It's looking pretty sweet, man. You got to get this shirt. That's one of my favorites. Go to KISW.com. Go to the Rock Shop. Get the summer tee. You will be smiling.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs?
Oh, yeah.
I know Kevin from Renton is. Kevin, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Steve, now get out.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Kevin has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Disneyland and Walt Disney World are primarily located in counties named for what fruit?
Pass.
What female rose to fame as the lead singer of the Supremes?
Betsy Ross?
No.
Diana Ross?
Yes. Edgar Allan Poe famously wrote a poem that shared its name with what bird?
The Raven.
Yes. Which Disney movie is the song You'll Be in My Heart from?
Pass.
What herb is traditionally on a margarita pizza?
Cheese.
No.
Say again?
What herb is traditionally on a margarita pizza?
Basil.
Yes. Florence Henderson played Carol in what 70s sitcom?
Carol. Pass.
The Rockies is a baseball team from where?
Colorado.
Yes. Kevin, with that, you get 4 correct.
All right. Well, it's,
That's something. I feel like Florence Henderson, I feel like that was probably on the tip of his tongue. I feel like he knew it. He just...
Yeah. It depends on how old he is. Almost everybody just knows who she is unless you're a very young person.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. I think if you're a Zoomer, you are just like, I don't know. And if you're a very young millennial, you might be clueless as well.
Steve, are you ready?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, yeah!
Disneyland and Walt Disney World are primarily located in counties named for what fruit?
Orange?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
What female rose to fame as the lead singer of the Supremes?
Diana Ross.
Yes. Edgar Allan Poe famously wrote a poem that shared its name with what bird?
The Raven.
Yes. Which Disney movie is the song You'll Be in My Heart from?
Snow White?
No.
Cinderella?
No.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
No. What herb is traditionally on a margarita pizza?
Oh, basil.
Yes. Florence Henderson played Carol in what 70s sitcom?
The Brady Bunch.
Yes. The Rockies is a baseball team from where?
Colorado.
Yes. What planet's astronomical symbol depicts a trident?
Planet Orion.
No. What?
That would be Jupiter.
No.
Venus.
No.
Oh.
The Washington state flag is mainly what color?
Green.
Yes. How many months end in the letter R?
How many months? 1.
No.
2.
No.
3.
It's the last 4, actually.
That's right. September, October, November, December.
Yes, but you get 7 correct, which is a win. 7-4.
Booyah!
Sorry, buddy.
Enjoy that wind tunnel.
That's okay.
Yeah, really, though.
You've lost, sir.
Take care.
We are sorry.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
Somebody said I'm 35 and I have no clue who Florence Henderson is. Is that the one that you guys were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
It seemed like Kevin almost knew it, but just didn't.
Isn't that funny? Like, you just, like, when you're in our generation, I'm just like, that's just a no-brainer.
Right,
Florence
right.
Henderson, that's just an iconic name, and of course from that show. But yeah, there's a whole new crop of people that have no idea who the hell that is.
They probably don't even know what the Brady Bunch is.
That's crazy.
I know.
So, but Danny, Vicky, Sarah, Joe, you guys watch that show. You know it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I hated it.
Because you guys are in the... You guys
hated the Brady Bunch?
I just thought they were too picture perfect. Even as a little kid, I'm like, this is so fake. It is pissing me off. I was probably like 7, and I've always hated it.
I can't really argue with you. They were pretty annoying.
Yeah.
But like that, we were just forced. It was like forced down our throat, the Brady Bunch, because like you didn't have. You didn't have a lot of options for television, and that show was on every day for like at least a couple. It felt like 2 hours of the day where the Brady Bunch was on TV.
Yep. Over and over again. Vicky, do you know You'll Be in My Heart is from what Disney movie?
Phil Collins hard, man. Tarzan. Phil Collins went that hard on that soundtrack for us.
Wow.
Be in my heart.
That's Phil Collins?
He did, the entire soundtrack, and he went hard on it.
And does anyone know what
shout out to Phil Collins also.
Right? Yeah, shout out to him.
I know he just recently was retiring from doing the music because of his health stuff. So so like
hopefully he's okay.
Yeah,
he'll be okay.
I saw him recently. I was like, oh man, that just makes you start feeling old too. Because you're like, I just always picture him as this like one age, and then when you see a recent picture, you're like, oh yeah, he's aging like the rest of us.
He's getting old.
Yeah.
Does anyone know what planet's astronomical symbol depicts a trident?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, it's Neptune.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, that's a great guess.
Yeah, thank you.
It happens to be correct.
Yeah, there you go.
It didn't matter though, Steve. Congratulations on beating Kevin.
I feel like
good job.
I feel like you can't even force somebody to like, you have to watch the Brady Bunch. You know, I was just thinking about that, like, because it's not really that great of a show. It was like we were just forced on us from being on TV. But like, I would never tell someone if they haven't seen it, you should go back and watch the Brady Bunch. I feel like that's wasting somebody's time.
It's
right.
The only thing about that show that was slightly revolutionary was the blended family. That was it. But the reason why they were blended was because it was widow and widower as opposed to divorced. Right. But I think it was a code for divorced people to feel a little bit better about themselves because you weren't supposed to be divorced in those days, yet so many people were. That's all it had going for it as far as being unique. Otherwise, you guys are completely right about that show.
It was, I mean, it's like, now you can just tell them that part and be like, oh, that's interesting. We don't have to be like, hey, you need to sit down and watch 30 minutes of this.
No, and it really just captured a time. That's all, and that time is gone. I mean, that's for you and me. Yeah, it was very, it was just something that was like a time capsule of the corniness of that kind of show. It also was very white. I think that's another thing, man. It was a very white person show. They had a maid, even though you're like, how do you have a maid? Who's got a maid? I was like, what family's got a maid with 6 kids living in it and 2 adults plus the maid lives in the house? I always felt like, who has this kind of money? I remember thinking that when I was a kid.
Kind of unfair expectations.
Yeah, because I was like, we're
Mom, Dad, where's our maid?
Right.
And why don't we have a sweet Volkswagen or station wagon?
Yeah, it's like Alice gets her own room, but then the 3 boys they get stuck in one room, the 3 girls get stuck in another room.
I never thought about that. I'd be really pissed off at my parents.
Yeah,
if you're like, you're having a random person live in our home to do stuff that you guys don't want to do, and they're taking away from our space.
Yeah.
Oh, I would throw a tantrum for sure. I was upset that I didn't even get the bigger room in our house now, and I still have my own room.
Yeah, you got the bigger room in the house.
I eventually did, yes.
Now you got half of the house.
Sure do.
Yeah.
I do believe there was an episode where we didn't even know they had a basement, and I think Greg got the room in the basement, and there was a big fight between the 6 kids.
I thought it was the attic. I thought he had like the attic room.
Oh, was it the attic?
I can't remember, but
yeah, you might be right. It was one of those, it was like, I didn't even know they had this extra space, and it's like, why did it take this long for a kid to get the room? They should have given it to him right off the bat.
All I remember is he didn't even have doors to that thing. He just had like beads. Like,
the hippie beads.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. There was definitely like when the hippie movement came in, it really influenced that show because it wasn't always hippie the first season or so of the Brady Bunch, but then Greg got older and cooler and everybody wants
to watch a few episodes just to see how bad it is.
And that's where Johnny Bravo came from. If you remember that name, Johnny Bravo.
Oh, yeah, the animated show? Yeah. With the guy with the blonde, big swoosh hair?
Whoa,
yeah.
mama.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, somebody remembers. I was like, BJ, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, yeah. Well, So that animated show, I believe Greg Brady called himself Johnny Bravo in a rock and roll thingamajigger.
Oh, I had no idea.
Which is why I think that they named that character Johnny Bravo in the animated show.
I'm looking at some of the show synopsis. There's like a page that has all like the different episodes, and one that just popped up was Cindy's beloved doll, Kitty Carryall, disappears, and Bobby, who had just said he was annoyed by the doll, is blamed for the theft. Later, things only get worse when Bobby loses his kazoo and blames Cindy. And this was the episode.
Yeah, and what, did Tiger take all of them and just throw them in the doghouse?
Spoiler alert, man.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure if that's actually what happened.
That's probably what happened. Or either that Alice just gave to Sam the Butcher. I don't know. One of the two. Oh, yeah. What a great show. The Brady Bunch. All right, if you're having relationship problems, any kind of issues at work, maybe random problem where you need some advice from us, okay, we are here for you. Call us, text us, 206-803-ROCK. It is Help Wanted. We're going to do that at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
At BECU, we're proud members of the 12 community. Jersey casual dress code on Blue Fridays, hoarse voices on Monday mornings, and flying that 12 flag every day of the week. We know how much 12s love to show their pride, because we do too. That's why we give our members a chance to show their 12 pride with every purchase. So join us and get the Seahawks Debit MasterCard from BECU, the official card of 12s everywhere. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Is your relationship going sideways?
Have a family issue? Problems with your coworker?
Do you need advice? We're here to help. No problem is too dumb. No dilemma is too silly. This is Help Wanted with BJ and Migs.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Help Wanted, man. Getting lots of phone calls, lots of texts and messages for years from Rockaholics saying, hey, man, can you help us out and give us some advice? Doesn't matter the problem either. Even if it's a dumb one, we are the ones that are here for you. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text. It's Help Wanted.
Oh, man, the texts are coming in, and we got one that involves tattoos, social media, or a hot date.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. Who should we have decide? I say we have your son decide.
All right, Joey D's.
I'm going with the hot date.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
The man who loves a good hot date.
Who doesn't?
All right, guys, it's a simple question. I have a hot date coming up with a smoking hot divorcee. She got divorced about a year ago and finally convinced her to go out with me. So the question is, where do I take her? I really want to impress her, but I'm not sure what kind of date I should do. Should we go cruising on my motorcycle and have a picnic? Should I send a car for her and go to a 5-star restaurant? I know it depends on what she likes, but she's made it clear she wants something different than what her ex-husband gave her. So without knowing much, how do you guys impress someone new? Please help.
Well, yeah. I mean, when she says that, and do you know what her ex-husband gave her? Did he? I mean, or is she talking about in the bedroom? I'm not sure what she's talking about.
BJ, I think you answered that question. You need to contact the ex and ask him, what did you used to provide for her? Because I want to do the opposite. Could you imagine getting that phone call? Like somebody's like, hey, I'm about to go on a date with your ex. I was curious of what you think I should do because you want something that's not like you.
What was your first date like? Just want to know.
Right, what did you guys used to do for fun?
Yeah.
What's your favorite moves in the bedroom? Because I want to try and change it up a little. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've got a motorcycle, I guess if she's into motorcycles, isn't that the thing to do? And a picnic, I guess. I mean, of course,
I feel like you got to run that one by her first if you're going to go with the motorcycle one. Because, I mean, that's somebody might not want to ride on the back of your hog.
Or maybe she won't dress appropriately, ends up burning her leg on the tailpipe.
Oh, that too.
Yeah,
last thing you want to do is, when you ride the hog, is burn on the pipe. You just don't want to do that.
Exactly.
Maybe
don't want that to happen.
You just don't. That seems like that one you need to kind of run by the person first. You can't just show up on a motorcycle and be like, "Get on it. We're going to go have fun."
Yeah,
I would not like that
with this picnic basket.
Get on the motorcycle and take her to the fair.
Oh, there we go.
Because then you're kind of getting the both of, and at the end, if she didn't like the fair, then you take her to the 5-star restaurant.
In Puyallup? Good luck. I'm kidding. We have a Ram. We have a Red Robin. We have 5-star restaurants.
Is 5-star a little too much for the? I don't even know nowadays if it's too much.
I feel like that. I feel like you come off a little too try-hardy. If that's even a term. You know what I mean? If all of a sudden you're like taking your, like, first you're sending a car. That seems a little, I don't know.
That's something
I haven't dated in forever, so what the hell do I know?
That's something you do for like an anniversary dinner, maybe in a year or two if you guys are still together. Don't do that for the first date.
When you get that vibe, like, oh, this guy's trying to buy me.
Yes.
In a sense. Like, oh, I'm going to show off how much money I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and usually you don't have a lot of money if you've decided, all right, I'll blow everything on this one thing, and then the date number 2 is really like very bad.
Now, don't go on the flip side. Obviously, I don't like some one of like the Uber rideshare one. where it picks up other people as well to pick her up and meet at like a fast food place. That might be a little too, I don't give an F.
This is the Uber pool.
Uber pool. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Nothing but the best for you, babe.
Or showing up on on a Lime scooter. That probably isn't a good idea either.
The fair, though, as silly as that is, I almost think there's something to it.
Yeah.
Like, what if there's an artist, a band, or because they have concerts there all the time. So maybe find like an artist that you both are into and go earlier and just kind of enjoy being at the fair. There's something fun about that.
Unless that was the first thing that what the ex-husband used to do. See, that's the problem. You don't know what he did. What if he was the fair guy?
That's why we call him first.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude.
That's horrible. I mean, I don't, see, to me, I like baseball. Maybe I would take her to a baseball game. I don't know. But then I don't know if that's romantic enough. Probably not, especially if someone doesn't care about the sport.
So it says if he knows her friends, talk to them. They'll probably know. They'll know. And if he's lucky, like my new dude, the bar is so low that he doesn't have to be that careful to trip on it.
Well, there is that. That's what you really got to do is you got to find a woman with a bar low.
That could be funny if he's like, if the day went great. What do you mean? We didn't really do much. Well, you didn't have sex with my sister, so you're better than my ex, okay? So as long as you don't do that, we're good.
Oh, that's why you brought your sister on the date, just to see what I would do.
One texter says, spending a lot of money on the first date, that sets the bar high for future dates.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because then if they're like really like that, then what are you going to wine and dine them every single time?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I like you said, Steve, it's been so long, I wouldn't know what to do. And then for her to bring up the ex-husband, that's what really sucks too. Is like, as long as you don't do what my ex-husband did, it's like, why is he even part of this conversation?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's probably a good sign, though, to be honest, because that means her ex-husband is probably not a good guy. But my big advice for this dude would be to make sure you have plans after the food you get. Because there's nothing worse than when you don't want to just immediately invite them back to your place.
Yeah, that never goes well.
Yeah, you want to be like, let's go walk the pier or something. Like going down to the Ferris wheel. That's a great idea.
Let's go walk the neighborhood near my house.
Let's walk the neighborhood. I mean, damn it, the fair really sounds appealing to me.
Thank you. Yeah, it was because you just went, but
that too. And it's super fun. The rides are
great. If only you were the one going on the date with him, it'd be perfect.
Oh, if someone said, "Hey, I want to take you out to the fair," I'd be like, "Let's go." Are you paying? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get my face painted?
Will you win one of those big stuffed animals for me?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is kind of like, the classic romantic thing where you go play all those games and, like you said, Danny, try to win the prizes.
Spend $150 for a $5 stuffed animal. Yes, I've done that many a times.
Oh, though I like at the fair, there's some of them where you just like they're guaranteed winners.
That's true.
Granted, the prizes are not so great. But Tatum thinks they're amazing. Like she did some stupid thing where like she won like a stuffed banana.
Oh,
and
nice.
she thought the thing was the greatest toy in the world. I'm like, yeah, we just spent like the equivalent of like $7 for this stuffed banana. That really, what the hell are you going to do with it? But
that's it?
Yeah.
So I think if the girl that he takes likes the stuffed banana, then perhaps things are looking good.
Oh, you think that leads to something else?
Yeah,
like a banana sundae.
Let's go try to win that stuffed eggplant. Not that I'm trying to send any messages.
Okay, so obviously I don't know if we're necessarily the best at telling this person what a good date would be, but we have two females on our show. We've probably been on a couple of dates in their lives. I'm wondering, what was the best date that you had? Like maybe like a first date. Like based on like location, experience, maybe that could help this person. All right, Sarah.
I was taken to Snoqualmie Falls, and we stayed the night in the hotel room. Oh. And it is such a nice place, and it is so beautiful, and it's romantic. And we might have done it there, looking over the waterfall.
Wait, were you in the hotel?
Well, I mean, in the hotel, and then also on the, where you look out and actually see the whole waterfall right there.
Well, you got busy?
Yes.
In public?
Yeah. Yes. She did. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, that was definitely one of the most memorable, beautiful, scenic.
Thank you. Thanks for asking the
BJ,
question.
I had no idea that was going to be her favorite date was public sex.
I mean, and no, it's not my current husband. Sorry, babe.
I wasn't even going to asked that question.
God, that wasn't even him.
I know.
The two men in your life, you're making them both miserable with this story.
I do feel bad now that I didn't pick a date that J-Rubs took me on. My most memorable was with some other dude.
And that's a first date. What kind of dude flexes by bringing you to a hotel like you're going to spend the night together? That's a huge flex on a first date.
And he was not rich by any means. It was one of those, like, he's not the best with money. He's not the smartest guy. He really just lives in the moment.
Well, at least if J-Rubs gets upset, you could tell him that part. Like, hey, he's not the smartest. Like,
yeah, exactly. That'll make him feel better.
He wasn't long-term relationship worthy. Just,
No.
But was that a first date?
It was one of the first ones we started dating. I think it was like within the first 5 dates or something. Yeah. Yeah, he just got his paycheck from his, probably minimum wage job. You know what I mean? And just blew it all.
Well, he wanted to get some action.
And it worked. It really worked. I mean, if you get someone a hotel room, what else do you think is going to happen?
I don't know if that would be the best idea in this situation, but like maybe you could go to Snoqualmie Falls and then be like, if things are going well, be like, we could just get a hotel here.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
And have one ready to go.
Yeah.
And then if she denies it, yikes.
I don't like the fact I don't know what the ex-husband did. That's the thing is like, what if you pull every move he did and she hates you for it? And you're like, what? I thought this was a great idea. Snoqualmie Falls, hotel. I heard some ratchet girl on the radio loved it.
All right, Vicky, what about you?
Mine was funny enough because at that time I had a really crazy schedule. So we scheduled it on my birthday. I didn't tell him it was my birthday, but he ended up finding out. He told me, hey, we're going to walk a little bit. So I dressed as if I was going on a hike, and he shows up dressed really nice. So at first I felt out of place.
That is the funniest visual.
Right?
It's like Vicky's like in some like leggings, like Lululemons or whatever,
tennis shoes and stuff, and he's wearing a nice shirt. I was like, you said we were walking, so like going for some sort of hike thing, because he wanted to keep it a surprise. And we ended up going to the beach, and he had planned a whole picnic for us, included cupcakes for my birthday. He's like, I figured out it was your birthday, and we celebrated it that way. And it was really, really sweet. I thought that was fun. But we never went out again, so.
Okay, then.
Wasn't that fun?
These are not helping.
No,
this doesn't.
The thing
really.
is, we worked opposite schedules, so it just didn't work.
Aha.
I would definitely do something active, though. I realized, like, I'm not a fan of just going out to dinner and kind of interviewing the person.
No.
I'm much more of, like, go bowling or go Topgolf or something interactive where you can kind of, like, see each other's personality. Like, can you take a joke? Can you make fun of each other? Are they too sensitive?
Can you bowl over 100?
Yeah. I probably can't, but
it's rare for me too.
It's fine. Yeah, I would definitely do something more interactive than just sitting and eating.
I like this advice. My advice, run. If she's still talking about and comparing things to her ex-husband, she's clearly got some hang-ups and is not ready to move on. Ooh. You should start a relationship in the present, not already being compared to the past.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, and he let it off with a smoke show. You know what I mean? Both, like, whenever I hear anybody just do red flaggy things. Look, it's nice to be with an attractive woman. I get it. But when you're like, I'm going to be going with a smoke show, and that's your first statement, it's kind of like you don't even, all you're caring is to get action. It's just, I mean,
well,
I've heard
that's the
people.
Case, then Snoqualmie Falls apparently is the
Perfect.
Yeah, that's where you go. I don't think you worry about this being a long-term thing. And I think the texter's right. Her mentioning the ex-husband means that she's still not happy about that.
And the person says, I've also done it at the Overlook at Snoqualmie Falls.
Okay, then.
It's beautiful.
All right.
I've been there. I never thought
Never?
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying I would have been too terrified to try and pull something like that off.
Yeah, but that's kind of like the fun of it.
Yeah.
The adrenaline gets going.
I'm looking at those prices for that hotel, and I understand why it works.
Is it pretty expensive?
It's like $500 a night.
Wow.
So is that like a month's salary for him? Or is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah, $500 a night, man. Oh man, imagine if
it's better just provide someone for you to get action with.
Yeah, at that point you can go to Aurora to make sure. I mean, you don't take a chance.
And if I'm reading it right, it's a two-night minimum too. So.
Whoa, 2-night minimum?
I don't know if that was for you guys, but that's what it's saying now.
I was going to say, he must have brought another girl in the next night.
Could you imagine?
Oh, man.
We definitely weren't there 2 nights, or at least I wasn't. So,
you're like, babe, why aren't you taking all your clothes out of the hotel? I'll go back and get it. Let me get you home first.
Yeah,
I'll come back. That's what a
you're
gentleman
the priority
does.
here.
Yeah. A gentleman leaves his clothes in the hotel
for someone else.
God, that would have been, that's a baller move if, in fact, he did have a 2-night minimum and decided, all right, I'm going to double up.
I used to work at Snoqualmie Falls. That dude dropped well over $1,000 for all that, I'm sure.
Wow.
Whoa.
And not just for me, I guess. And knowing him, I wouldn't have been surprised if he really did pull that move.
Now that I'm looking more into it, it seems that it was just this coming weekend. It's a two-night stay for some reason.
Okay, thank you. Make me feel a little better.
Yeah, sure, that's it.
Well,
Yeah,
this is why you're with Johnny Rubbers and not him. Johnny Rubbers would have given you both.
Yeah.
You're right, Steve. He would have.
That's why you married that man.
Yep.
See?
He cares.
Yeah, I don't know if Johnny Rubbers would have gone to that place. He would have been like, that's way too expensive.
I know.
So, BJ, I think you're right. Like, this guy clearly, he just wants to have sex with a hot woman.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then wine and dine or do whatever you want. If it's gonna, if you feel like that's gonna make it happen, but that sets the bar too high. It doesn't sound like if you're not really into her as a long term thing, and she's not into you for a long term thing, because it sounds like she's still hung up on the ex.
Yeah,
and it's just a little fling. Drop some coin.
Yeah, distract her then. I mean, give her a nice evening, and she may not be ready for a relationship, but she's probably going to be ready for a nice evening, and you're ready to be with a smoke show for a nice evening. I feel like everybody's getting what they want here temporarily anyway.
Yeah, but think about if it doesn't work out, then you just dropped all that money.
Yeah, that is
literally
the problem.
nothing.
Yeah, you're right. There's no guarantees in life.
A fun night out with a very attractive woman.
Yes.
He's still winning.
Very platonic.
There you go.
That'd be so
that's
sad.
what $1,000 and she shakes your hands. Yep, that's it. That's a beautiful evening. So let's talk about Gary Busey. This is bizarre. Gary Busey fled from a hit and run and then fled again when the woman he hit caught up with him, and she got this all on video. Oh yeah, you're going to hear this really strange interaction between her and Gary at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another listener question. How do I rebuild my credit after filing bankruptcy?
You rebuild it, one creditor at a time by making your payments on time on your rent or your mortgage, by continuing to make car payments on a car that you keep during your case. You can also, as I said earlier, you can almost always get a credit card almost immediately after filing bankruptcy. Sometimes it's a secured card, and it'll almost always have a really high interest rate on it. But you could get a small balance credit card and charge a tank of gas or a dinner once a month on that, and make the payment, pay it off every month, and that'll help you build a credit history one creditor at a time, and will help you rebuild your credit over time.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
When it comes to personal style, it's all about layers, especially now. Add layers to your fall style with new colors, fabrics, and styles from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code PODCAST to get 10% off any purchase $3.99 or more.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
It's after bedtime, the kids are asleep, and the moms are out to play.
We're Dina and Kristen, the duo behind the Instagram account Big Little Feelings. I'm Dina. I'm a child therapist and mom of two who nerds out on all things neurobiology and psychology. And Kristen is a parent coach who wrangles 3 kids on a daily basis, here to give it to us like it is.
We weren't meant to do this parenting thing alone. Consider After Bedtime your village.
Follow After Bedtime with Big Little Feelings on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Gary Busey. Oh, man. I wonder if folks remember him. I mean, the most recent thing that I think he was super famous for was The Apprentice that he was on, The Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the last thing I remember him from. Fighting with Meatloaf.
For my favorite thing I remember him from was just his cameo as playing himself in Entourage.
Oh.
Which is also forever. That was probably still 15-something years ago, and it feels like it was just yesterday, but that HBO show, Entourage, and he played himself, and he was just really kooky and weird.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time. Sloane is on the new Superman and Lois show, and look, I mean, she's an attractive woman, but she's a mom now. And she wasn't a mom back in the Entourage days. She wasn't playing that kind of character. That's when you know you're old. You're like, oh man, thanks. Sloane's a mom. Okay,
thanks a lot for that.
Sorry, buddy. So Gary Busey apparently rear-ended a woman in Malibu last week and allegedly fled the scene. She chased him down into a parking lot asking for his information, and she said, you know what, I need to record this interaction.
Be wiped out.
It doesn't matter. That's not how this works. You hit my car. You have scuffs all over your car.
Progressive insurance.
I want the number. I want the information. No. Sir, you hit my car.
I'm private.
It doesn't matter. You hit me. You hit my car. No, you rear-ended me. You can't hit someone and then leave. Yo, that's not okay. You hit my car. Sir, you don't get to just leave hitting someone. Dude.
Wow.
You can't hit someone and then just leave.
Is he listening to the Beach Boys? Does that just make it even more awesome that it's like this happy-go-lucky, wouldn't it be nice song after he's just pulling a douche move?
Wouldn't it be nice if you didn't hit me or at least didn't run away?
I love the line of, I'm private. That's why I'm not going to give you my information.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much a don't you know who I am move right there.
Yeah, that's, wow. I don't know how that goes for Gary. Now that we know it's Gary, wow. And you can see the video on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. Yeah, that's you kind of gotta give her your insurance info there, Gary, private or not. You gotta. He must not know. He's like, I don't know where any of my things are.
Do you think she knows who that was?
I don't know. I mean, it's if you're not a person of our generation, if you're a younger person, you may not have a clue.
Like, who's this crazy old man that's listening to the Beach Boys?
Yeah. He's just got his sunglasses on. He had a hat on. I think if you don't, I think I would have recognized them, perhaps, especially with the voice. I would have been like, wait a second. And if I'm in the LA area, California, I probably
you recognize him. Would you let him go?
Oh, I give him the Meatloaf line. I yell at him like Meatloaf.
Oh, you would?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you hit my car? Oh, yeah, you're gonna get the Meatloaf.
Do not wanna with me.
Yeah, that's my line to Gary Busey.
You look in my eyes. I am the last person in the world you ever wanna with.
I would assess how bad the damage is based on how I handle it. Like,
you'd be like, okay, you'd let privilege win.
Yeah. If I could get a selfie.
Right, fair enough.
If I could get a picture.
Oh, you got to get a selfie.
Gary, I'll let you slide, but I want a picture with you, man.
Oh, but I'm private. I just don't take pictures.
All right, then we're about to make this public.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brother.
You do not want to mess with me. Give me a selfie. Man, it is wild to think that in his brain he's just like he has no idea that, like, no, dude, you can't do that. You can't just hit somebody and run away.
It makes you wonder how many times he's just like hitting random cars. Like, I'm picturing him like just kind of bumping into parked cars all the time and just be like, oh, I'm just listening to the Beach Boys. No big deal over here. And just goes home and his significant other's like, how was your day? He's like, oh, nothing special happened. Didn't hit a person. Didn't get chased by a woman yelling at me.
I will say this: I am very surprised at her because yes, you get hit and you get hit and run, but you get covered for that. You really do. No fault covers that. I don't know if I'd want to chase anybody that's hitting and running me because they don't want to stop. And luckily, it was just an old guy, Gary Busey, just going out private. I think it's real. I don't know if I'd take that chance.
There's no guarantee that she has that kind of insurance. Maybe she doesn't have uninsured motorist kind of, like when you get hit by someone who's not insured or whatever it may be, maybe, or she's just like, I don't want to deal with the deductible. Like, I want him to cover all this. Like, this is all on him. Like, he should have to pay for all this.
Yeah, that's a good point. I still, you don't know who you just don't know who the hell you're chasing down.
Some crazy old man. I don't blame her. I'd chase him down too.
Oh yeah. I guess if she saw that he was a crazy old man, and that's why maybe your question's a good one, Steve. Do you think she knew who he was the whole time? I mean, I don't know.
I think she would have said, hey, Gary Busey.
Yeah.
I'm filming you. You know what I mean?
Hey, Gary Busey.
Gary Busey, why'd you hit my car and drive off?
You think that she was just like recording it just because she's like, oh, I want to document this, and she goes home and shows whoever, and they're like, do you know who that is?
That's hilarious.
Send it to TMZ right now.
Right, you'll make more money from this video than you would even from his insurance.
Yeah,
it will cover your deductible.
Yep.
Yeah, and there it is. He's all over the place. I can't wait for the follow up. I hope we get a follow up of like how he handled it, if he's going to pay, if he makes a statement. I want that.
She just follow him around, just keep yelling at him everywhere he goes.
Oh, that would be so good.
Kind of like that. I remember was it Better Off Dead, that movie where the kid was just following around wanting his $2? And she's I want my deductible. He's just yelling at him the whole time.
Yeah. You can't do that, sir. Sir, dude. Like that's all she calls him is sir and dude. I'd love that. So Gary Busey, again, allegedly hitting and running.
I mean, I know we have to say the alleged thing, but it's like, it's on video.
I know.
I think about this, like, if I get into a car accident, I'm definitely going to be like having my phone recording the conversation.
Oh, you need to.
Even if like, I don't even know if that's illegal or not, but like, I would probably just still do it now because I'm a lawbreaker, man. I live my lawless life. But like, just because last time I got hit by a car, it was a guy who blew a red light, and he tried to pull I didn't run a red light. I don't know what you're talking about. And thankfully, of all things, there was an off-duty police officer at the stoplight watching all of this unfold and pulled into the parking lot with us. And it was like, no, I witnessed all of it. You were in the wrong. And then his story changed. But at the time, like, he was just like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm like, well, this is just great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good that the cop. I know, because that's how people are, including Gary Busey. You should just say you're private. I'm going to get out of everything that way. I don't have to do that. I'm private. Yeah, that's it. I'm a private. What a line. I'm private. Oh, okay. So that means you can do anything you want. Yeah. All right. How do I get this private status?
He's in his own little world, man.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, man, oh man. I wish there was more interaction. I really, really do. Like, why didn't Gary speak like he always speaks, like really crazy? Instead of just, I'm private. I would have loved like if he gave her one of his speeches about the cosmic recesses of the universe.
His Buseyisms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, you don't realize that I didn't hit you. The universe pushed me into you. And that is the luck of what you have. And the scrapes will reflect the scrapes of damage of your heart.
Wouldn't he then also like say a word and then like have a meaning? Each letter meant something?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hit and run. What would that be? I didn't hit you. I highly intelligently talked to your car with my car.
Right. That's what he would do all the time. You're just like, man, you're out of your mind. I think you're just effing with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then he pulls the private. Shows you that he's just like everybody else. Well, maybe pulling the private's the wrong thing to do, but
yeah. Not privates.
Yeah. Pulling just the one private. Well, there's this poll that was done recently, and they were asked to weigh in on the popular pet peeves to see how many of us think that these pet peeves that people have are legit. Perfect for a guy like me, because I got pet peeves everywhere.
What's your biggest pet peeve right now that pops into mind?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I have so many pet peeves. I think the biggest pet peeve for me, and it just happened, is people that just drive like idiots. And I was on the other end of that. Normally, I'm in a car watching people just do ridiculous kinds of driving, weaving, tailgating, just speeding. And I was actually being driven to PAX by somebody who does that. So I was actually in a vehicle doing that.
Oh, so you were with the douche.
Yeah, I was with the douche, and I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? I mean, and
I didn't know you and Vicky drove to PAX together. No, sorry.
It just, I don't get it. And I'm in the car, and we're all saying stuff in the car. Like, he's driving all of us, and we're like, dude, what are you doing? Tailgating people, and then once he finally gets an opportunity, he passes them. But it's like, you don't have to be on that guy's butt if you want to pass him. You could still have some space, not tailgate him, and then pass him. But this guy just, it's like Vicky said, I got to go fast everywhere. And so I feel like I'm going faster if I'm 15 inches away from a car.
So that was his excuse for when you guys were like, hey, stop driving this way?
Yeah, it was just like, what are you talking about? I got to get where I got to go. And it's like everything. It's like, dude, you are we're not in India. This is not a chaotic street situation that you're in. And they even know what they're doing. You don't know what you're doing. And yeah, that's my big pet peeve right now, are people that just drive like a-holes. And God, I was in the car with the a-hole driver going, oh, this is frightening. This is worse on the inside than it is on the outside.
I feel like everyone's going to have a driving story, because that was mine as well. Mine is just the inability of someone to understand, the people who just don't understand the concept of a four-way stop sign. It will forever drive me insane. Yeah. It's like, and the one that I think the biggest pet peeve with that is the person who clearly doesn't understand how it works, but they're trying to be like the better person and trying to wave you to go first.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they were there way before I'm still driving while they're at the stop, and they're waving at me like annoyed that I haven't made the turn yet. And I'm just like, go F yourself, even though you're trying to do a nice thing. I get you're trying to you're like, oh, I'll be the better person, let them go first. But I'm like, you're just screwing this up for the rest of us.
Yeah, we know the rules. Why are you breaking the rules because you're Mr. Courtesy? It's like, you were here first. That's how it goes.
Right. Like, you've been waiting at the stop sign for a while now. Like, I'm watching you. I'm like, when is this person going to go? And then they're waving, and then they go after that. So it wasn't like as if their car was broken or anything like that. It was just like, what the hell? But that's the one that drives me up. Every time I get to a four-way stop sign, I'm like, this is going to suck.
I got one that's not driving related.
Okay.
That happened this weekend when we were checking out at a store and had a bunch of self-checkouts. The line went down the aisle. It was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous checkout line. And we were waiting to self-checkout, and we had 3 things. And everyone in that line had 3 things. But apparently, instead of getting their payment ready, so that way when they step up to this self-checkout, they're just, I don't know what they're doing. They're playing on their phone or whatever. And they're the reason that it's taking forever for the line to go down. Like, I was there, I scanned my stuff, checked out. We were done in less than a minute. But everyone else was taking at least 5 minutes to check out. And I'm like, you have 3 things. How is this not working?
Let me do it for you. Give me your wallet and give me your items. I will get this done quicker. You can play on your phone, you idiot.
I was so upset. Just like, how are you not getting ready for this?
And it's not that difficult if you have Apple Pay or, you double click. You just double click and you're ready to go.
There are so many people paying with cash too, pulling out $100 bills.
What?
And
in the self-checkout?
In the self-checkout. And it's like, guys, the line, what is it? What are you doing here?
It's like when I go to a Fred Meyer somewhere when everyone's in the self-checkout that has a full grocery cart.
My God.
And I would understand that if they didn't have open lanes, but they do. So yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit, but what are you're going to really check all this stuff that's in your shopping cart out on your own, and you're going to think that this is going to be quicker than if you just went in the line with somebody who could do it for you? This is just insanity.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the pet peeves on the list, is basically the checkout line. But, and I think this is a big one as well, and that is when you only have one non-self checkout lane open. And I've seen that, it's like either build a bunch more self checkouts, or get some people to run those empty registers, because it's I sit there and I go, like Danny said, there's a big line in self checkout and a big line on the one lane that's non-self checkout.
And the employees just look at you like, oh, sorry. Nothing we can do. Which I get it, the staffing issues these days and whatnot, but at the same time, open one more lane. Come on.
So my biggest pet peeve is when people get on the elevator before letting people off.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, you just want to shoulder tackle those people. I know that's frowned upon, but you kind of want to.
How do you not know that? It's like this 4-way stop. How do you not know that's the rule? You press the button, then you stand back, give enough room for people to get out. How do you not know that? It's the same thing like when you the train at SeaTac. No. It's the same. You look at people going, why are you trying to rush to get into the train to go to your end gate? you know there's a bunch of people that got to get out. That's how it works. They need to get out first.
It's not like they're going to close the door the second that those people get off the train.
Oh, it is just, I just sit there and I look at these people going, you're the salmon. You're trying to swim upstream. What are you doing? Well, wait for the stream to be empty. Then you'll have easier swimming, buddy. Yeah, those are some, I agree, man. I don't disagree with any of those things. I'm glad you're all not thinking I'm petty, but these are really annoying. Well, we were talking about one celebrity basically hitting and running. We got another well-known celebrity who was so obsessed with that Mambo No. 5 song that his wife almost divorced him. What? I'll tell you who this is at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. In a new interview with Rolling Stone, horror author Stephen King revealed that he was once such a fan of Lou Bega's 1999 song Mambo No. 5. A little bit of da-da-da-da, a little bit
all
of Jessica.
Songs?
Yeah, that was his big song. He loved that song so much. Apparently, his wife was like, "Dude, I am going to divorce your ass if you don't stop playing it." Here's the tune. If you don't know it.
A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita's all I need, a little bit of Tina's what I see, a little bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long.
All right, Mary.
I probably want to write a horror novel if I listen to this too.
Yeah, I guess he played it a lot, and his wife just said, "One more time, and I'm going to effing leave you."
All right.
Yeah, I guess, and he had an instrumental version because he didn't want the lyrics to distract him. Because Steve, he was writing novels, and his last book, he just had that thing on just repeat.
I mean, it's a bouncy. I mean, maybe it puts him in like a good mood to like kind of be productive. But like if I'm listening to that over and over again, I remember my wife was getting a little annoyed because I kept playing the hot song, Buster Poindexter. Yeah. Only because Tatum liked it too, so we would dance. But she was like, it was like either that we were listening to or "Come On Ride the Train," which is a perfect song for toddlers.
Yeah, of course.
If you didn't know. And then eventually she was like, "All right, we need to find some new songs for your Tatum playlist." Yeah. Oh yeah. But boy, when you get that in your head. It is, man, I can over and over. Now, I'm not as bad as Stephen King, but yeah, I can repeat the same song if I'm driving. Sometimes I'll play a song 5 times in a row. Yeah. Is there a certain song?
Yeah.
Is it Skater Boy? Please tell me it's not Skater Boy.
It might be Skater Boy. It's probably a collective soul tune. Every once in a while, "Sweet Child of Mine." Or sometimes I'll just listen to the intro. Like maybe not even the whole song, but I just love the intro to "Sweet Child of Mine." That I might just go. I'll just hit back every time Axl starts singing because I just want to hear that guitar riff.
Shut up, Axl! I just want to hear Slash.
Come on, Axl. You think it was hours? Do you think that he would just have that on for hours? In order for her to just lose her mind, Stephen King having that Mambo No. 5 on for hours?
I mean, there's other songs, and he could find plenty of music that has that vibe.
Yeah, he probably was just like, this is the vibe. It's just like Steve Jobs. I got the one suit. Stephen King, I got the one song.
I want to know what novel he wrote while listening to that.
Probably a serial killer one.
Right?
Yeah, really. You got all the girls' names in there. Might as well just throw them all in.
What if he named the characters in the book after the Mambo No. 5 girls? And we just now figure that out.
Oh, that's cool. That would be cool if that happened. It's his latest book, whatever that is. I don't know if it's the one that just came out. If there is one that came out,
I'm still on some of the older stuff. I'm still working on Carrie. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Cujo and.
Oh yeah, of course.
Maximum Overdrive. I think that's about as far as I can. Pet Cemetery.
That's it.
I'm only naming movies. Like I don't know any of his books. I'm just basing it on the movies that were turned into the books that were turned into movies.
I was just told that there's a new show From. I think it's called From, and it's a Stephen King thing. And I was told that it's very good. But that's all. I'm not a real big Stephen King guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never been my thing, but that's what I heard. I heard From's pretty good.
I had a neighbor that was that would not stop playing that damn "Walking on Sunshine" song. And I remember a few of us in the neighborhood when I was growing up were like, "What do we got to do?" Like, because she would blast it, and like somebody wanted to set off like fireworks at her door, like every time she would play. I'm like, well, I can't imagine that's a smart idea, but man, it got to the point where you're like, I just hate this neighbor all day, and I'm sure like for them that was the song that put them in a good mood. But they blasted it, man.
Yeah, the idea that you could hear it in the whole neighborhood rather than, okay, just how about your own house?
Right. Put on some headphones, idiot.
Yeah, and that's the jam.
And don't get me wrong, that's a great song. It puts me in a good mood, too, but not after you hear it over and over and over again.
Did they have any kids?
They were like 18 or 19 years old. They were the kid, but not that young. I mean, young enough, like... No, there's no excuse.
There's no excuse. It's not like you with Tatum or something. Like if they had a 5-year-old in the house, like, I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again. Like,
right.
I get the little brother. He's like, I want to hear the picnic song. And it's a stupid kid's song I have to hear over and over again. I hate it.
Yeah, but at least don't blast it so your neighbors hear it.
Right.
I think maybe that's why they do. If I have to listen to this over and over again for this kid, so do you. Yeah, that's a beating. Well, there you go, Stephen King. Mambo number 5. I would never have picked that as a song that he loved.
To be honest, though, I don't even know what the hell I would think Stephen King was listening to. Like, he doesn't come off as like a guy that's like into, like, you know, from what limited interviews I've seen, he doesn't look like he's a dude that's like into music.
Yeah, I would think classical. Yeah. If I had to pick something, I would go, he probably listens to classical. And instead, he's
like
just
John Mayer.
Up.
Some stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I could see.
Okay.
Just chilling, listening to some sweet John Mayer.
Yeah. Damn, dude. And it is. I mean, you think of the horror stories he writes, and, you know, and that happy song, just, it doesn't make sense.
Apparently, he also had a dance mix. So I'm assuming a lot of those dancey, like, fun songs, which still cracks me the hell up, because he's writing all these creepy horror-type books, and it's just like a dance mix. Like, hey, let's just get dancing while I talk about killing people. Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah. He's a complicated man.
I don't blame his wife. I'd leave him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid song. I never was a fan of that song.
You never liked that song?
No, why would I?
Yeah. I guess that's a good point.
Did you like that song?
I did. Oh, you know, of course I would have liked that song. Yeah. That's totally me. I'm Mr. Bubblegum Pop.
Okay.
Yeah, but I get you. Yeah. There's no way I would ever pick you for that song.
Was that his only hit? He didn't have
I don't,
right?
I've never heard of
I have the greatest hits of Lou Bega on vinyl, but I haven't gotten around to listening to it yet. It still hasn't been unwrapped.
Yeah. I think he's a one-hit wonder, Danny.
I think he is, yeah.
Yeah. Now I want to know Lou Bega. Like, yeah, what else? I mean, how do you follow that up? Like, you can't do Mambo number 6.
Well, it just makes you wonder, like, is Lou really popular in another genre of music, and that just happened to cross over accidentally, maybe?
I bet.
Yeah. Because maybe he's a jazzy guy, or maybe he's a mambo guy, and that just happened to do it. And his other songs about mambos just didn't get it done.
I've been trying to get these mambo songs.
Apparently, the only other one that I'm finding is called Angelina.
He had a song called 1 + 1 = 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, all right. Well, at least it's about math.
He's like, I got to work numbers into my song titles because it seemed to work that first time.
Oh, right. Mambo number 5, 1 + 1 = 2. All right, Lou, you do you, buddy.
There's a song called Sweet Like Cola.
Yeah.
Well, it's so bizarre, some of these one-hit wonders that still go on to make music. I recently discovered, and I'm a very bad Gary Newman fan, I recently discovered that he kept making music after that song, Here in My Car, which was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
He still kept making music. I didn't know that. And so I downloaded a bunch of his stuff.
What do you think? He was just like, man, that's a big hit. I'm out. I'm done.
You know how it is with one-hit wonders, though. Like, you feel like they just go and they're done.
No, most of those one-hit wonders are still chasing the dragon, trying to get another hit.
Oh, yeah. I was shocked. Gary never... Or you think they give up after a certain amount of time. My favorite story, though, is that the Vapors, where they had their one-hit wonder turning Japanese, and then 40 years later, he decided to do another album. Like, they did 2 albums in the 80s, then stopped, and then they released one last year. It was just like he just decided, hey, 40 years later, maybe I'll give it another shot.
Man, if we're talking about when we had rest in peace, Steve Harwell.
Smash Mouth
that was guy.
Yeah.
That was sad to see.
Dude, Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Jimmy Buffett was a lot older, though. Like, listen, I didn't realize, like, the Smash Mouth dude, I know he had some issues. He was battling some of his demons, and I think it was, like, liver issues. I think that took his life. Yeah. But he was, like, only 50-something years old.
56.
Yeah.
56. And they, I mean, they were not just a one-hit wonder. I mean, we joked and say they were a one-hit wonder band, but they had, like, a ridiculous amount of hits, even though they were kind of a one-hit wonder band.
Yeah.
I don't know how that makes any sense, but you know what I mean?
It's like they were a one-hit movie wonder, because I think their 2 big hits came from Shrek, right?
Yep.
So was All-Star a hit from Shrek?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see Shrek.
Yeah, All-Star and I'm a Believer.
Okay. And then they had Walking on the Sun. I remember that one from when I was working in alternative radio. That was a popular song.
And I don't know if that came before or after Shrek. I have no idea, because I feel like they tried to do stuff post-Shrek that just... it was okay.
They had success before Shrek.
Yes, Walking on the Sun was 97. I think Shrek was 99 or 2000.
And All-Star was a hit before it was on Shrek. It just then became another, then it doubled down.
Oh, see, I really hadn't paid attention to those guys until Shrek.
Oh, yeah. They were what made them so popular was like, so many like heavy, dark, new metal was going on and all this, and like, alt rock was like a lot heavier, and then all of a sudden this like super sugary, fun type of a band, them and like Sugar Ray, oddly, no pun intended, but like, they were like super happy-go-lucky songs, and like all of a sudden they're putting you in a good mood.
Well, even them, and like I put Lit on their same level. Yeah. Like just they were like almost pop punkish, but they weren't. Like
right.
They didn't cross that line to like the Blink-182s, but they just wrote massive hits.
And then, like, with Smash Mouth was interesting because then he kind of went down like a weird road. And like, he had his demons. He was saying some like he was not the nicest person, and some of the fans were getting sick of his stuff. And wasn't there that incident where like people were throwing bread at him?
Yep.
If I remember correctly, it was very odd. Like at a concert, and the band eventually like let him out of the band.
Yeah, he like retired from singing. Like even I think that was like 2 years ago. It was not even that long.
Then they got another dude. And oddly enough, I ended up on his Instagram. This guy Zach Good, I think his name is, and he's like the lead singer now of Smash Mouth. And he put up like this really nice, heartfelt message about the passing of Steve Harwell. And of course, there's one you click on the comments, which is always the worst thing to do.
Of course.
And most people were just like, this is really touching and really nice, because he's like, hey, we never met personally, but I have enormous amount of respect for what you accomplished and the legacy that you left behind. Steve was a legend. And then even talked about how, like, I love singing these songs every night and carrying on the spirit of rock and roll in front of the best fans in the world, and honor Steve and the band, what they created. These songs deserve to live on and be heard, because the band's going to continue to tour. And somebody's comments like, if you genuinely respect him, you wouldn't have taken his spot in the band when he was at his lowest. Okay. And just goes off on the guy.
Okay.
And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And it's just like, it's no different than like if Nirvana found a new singer after Kurt Cobain died. You'd know better than that. And it's like, oh my gosh, dude, just pump the brakes.
Wow.
Like,
okay. I mean,
the band chose to move on. It sounded like he didn't want to be in the band anymore, but
yeah, it's a lot different. A lot different circumstances than Nirvana, as what happened with Steve Harwell and him leaving Smash Mouth.
Right, it's just like, how about just let the guy post his thing on Instagram, showing some love for a guy that's no longer with us. You don't need to crap on the dude now because he's the lead singer of Smash Mouth. You
don't get to do that on the internet? You don't get to crap all over good stuff?
Clearly you can. You can do whatever you want. It's the Wild West, man.
Yeah, this is the perfect opportunity. Somebody's saying something nice to memorialize somebody. This is my opportunity to just take a dump all over everything.
It just proves that no matter what you put up there, someone will find a reason to be a jerk. Like, he's like, thank you for all your support, and may Steve find the rest he deserves. And the Zach guy seems like he's just like, hey, I'm really sorry to hear about all this. And someone's like, screw you, quit the band.
Yeah, really. Yeah, if you really liked him, you wouldn't actually try to do anything. And the Jimmy, what I was surprised with Jimmy Buffett was how many people loved, like luminaries in the world of music who interacted with him and loved him. Paul McCartney put a huge thing out, talking about what a sweet man he thought, and how he loved working with Jimmy Buffett. And I was shocked. I was just like, wow, he was always a fun dude and had his restaurants. And of course, the great and powerful, the iconic songs he had. But people just loved working with him, like in the music business.
All right, here's my question. You always say, like, when someone passes, like an artist of music, that their record streams or sales go up. Did any of you go back and then listen to one? Like, I decided, I was at the gym, and I'm like, I'm going to listen to some Smash Mouth.
Did you?
And Not touching tribute. I lasted 4 songs. I'm like, that's a reason why I was never a fan.
Yeah, there we go. You're done. You're done.
I was like, man, it's taking forever to get to the All-Star song. I started from the beginning of their debut record, and I'm like, when are we going to hear All-Star? And I'm like, you know what? I could just listen to All-Star and move on with my day.
See, I didn't listen to any old songs. What I did immediately think when I saw the Jimmy Buffett thing, I was like, man, and I still never ate at a Margaritaville.
Well, they're still going to be open. I don't think they're closing.
Well, I know, but that was my first thought of just like, I should have done that at some point.
You still can.
I know.
It's not like he serves you the burger.
You never know.
Yeah, you wondered if you'd run into him. Yeah, you always wondered.
I don't want to listen to the music, but I did want to go back and watch Shrek. However, my brother, not the baby one, but the one that's closer to my age, he has forbade me from ever putting on that movie because I've watched Shrek way too many times as an adult that I'm not allowed to watch around him, so I couldn't. But I will plan to see it sometime this week.
Wow. So this is your little brother that's like said, no dice?
The 31-year-old, yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
my 31-year-old, he's like, you've played this movie way too much. Stop it. So
it's so nice that you bought your own home so that people can forbid you from watching what you want.
I was at their house over the weekend. It was a family weekend.
Yeah, there's a great song that people may not know from Jimmy Buffett because it's not one of the big ones, but it's a little sad because it involves Glenn Campbell, and of course Glenn had Alzheimer's. I think that's what he had, or dementia or whatever, and he wrote that song about how I won't remember you.
Say, I'm not going to miss you, I think it was called.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. And so this is an old tune where it's called Gypsies in the Palace, where basically it's a story of people that house sit, but they really just have a massive party every time a musician is having to go on the road. And they promise to watch the house, but really what they do is just invite over tons of people and have parties and break into the liquor cabinet. And it's a really fun song like that. And then, of course, when they get the call from Jimmy, hey, I'm coming back home, they have to kick everybody out and clean the place up. And then you hear Glenn Campbell coming at the end. That was always one of my favorite Jimmy Buffett songs, Gypsies in the Palace, which is it's a deeper cut, but it's a really fun tune. And that's what I put on when I heard the news because it was always my favorite Jimmy Buffett tune.
I don't think I can name more than 2 songs from Jimmy Buffett.
All right, give it a try, buddy.
What's the one about Margaritaville?
Yeah, that's the one.
And then isn't it like a 5 o'clock somewhere?
Yeah.
And that's it. And then the one I don't know, the one you just talked about.
Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes. Do you know that one?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, I really wasn't really I don't think I've ever spent a moment listening to Jimmy Buffett. The only time I ever heard his song is if it was playing in the background somewhere.
I was going to say my favorite moment, though, he was apparently in Jurassic World in this GIF that was very viral, and I had no idea it was him. But it's a part where a dinosaur is attacking, and he's running off with 2 margaritas in his hand.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's like an Easter egg, and I've seen it many a times, but not. I didn't find out until his death that was actually him.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Makes it even funnier.
Oh yeah, that's a great Easter egg.
And he's just like, I'm just going to go off with my margaritas as we're being attacked.
I was always surprised at all the people in management, at least in this business, that were parrot heads. As a matter of fact, I do think our big boss in this building, huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And I didn't know until all of a sudden there was a concert that I was posted, and there's our boss, and I'm just like our boss of our building, and there was another boss that was in another building that I used to work for, and huge parrot head, and it's like
so that's what his fans are called, parrot heads.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if Matthew McConaughey was one, but yeah. All right. There you go. Huge
Weren't
tribute
the
to
Jimmy Buffett fans also the ones that started the whole, they got like a bucket and like one of those like noodles, like those foam noodles, and made like porta potties, and they were pooping I thought there was like a story of like,
oh wow, I don't know about this.
The Jimmy Buffett fans were getting in trouble at festivals because they were just like basically pooping in buckets because they were so old they couldn't get to the bathrooms in time.
That does sound like something I would do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Right, that was them. It was a touching tribute to Jimmy Buffett.
Apparently, like the police department, the Mansfield Police Department, they had to issue a statement saying these are not toilets, so don't go in them.
Oh, because they took the pool noodles and put them around the top of those orange buckets so that you could, your butt could fit nicely.
Yes, which was actually very clever.
Idea.
It's very clever.
But it's
and very sad that they're just so old that they didn't want to make the trip all the way to the porta potty, so they just pooped in a bucket.
Very and very disgusting too when you think about it. But hey, congratulations.
Yeah, eventually people were like, dude, no, you can't come to this concert with a bucket and a pool noodle.
Yeah.
We know what you're going to do with this.
Yeah, waste it away. No, thank you. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
If there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, how many feet are in half a mile?
What was the question again?
If there are 5,280 feet in 1 mile, how many feet are in half a mile?
Pass. Why not even ask what the question was again?
The answer was 2640. Yeah, remember that. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-803-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
It's after bedtime, the kids are asleep, and the moms are out to play.
We're Dina and Kristen, the duo behind the Instagram account Big Little Feelings. I'm Dina. I'm a child therapist and mom of 2 who nerds out on all things neurobiology and psychology. And Kristen is a parent coach who wrangles 3 kids on a daily basis, here to give it to us like it is.
We weren't meant to do this parenting thing alone. Consider After Bedtime your village.
Follow After Bedtime with Big Little Feelings on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Got a new t-shirt in the Rock Shop just in time for this sunny weather. It's the KISW Summer Tee. Get it now at the Rock Shop. It's looking sweet too, man.
Yeah, we still have a few days left of summer, right?
Yeah, we do.
Maybe even a few weeks.
I wouldn't go a few, but a couple. I think it would be nice if we had a few, but we only got a couple left, buddy.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, then we're going to, September is the month that we change to fall, buddy.
All right, fine.
Yeah, sorry.
I was about to make a bet for that, but I'm like, I'm not betting things I'm going to lose.
Yeah, see, that's the difference between you and I. I always bet things I'm going to lose.
That's fair, yeah.
You're a smart man. I would have taken that bet, sir.
I got to save my money so I can buy one of these shirts, BJ.
There you go. Get the new KISW Summer Tee at the Rock Shop today, KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs.
It's time to play the game. So everybody scream his name. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa, Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs?
Oh, yeah.
I know Alonzo from Des Moines is. Alonzo, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Steve, now get out.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Alonzo has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Same name as a type of dog. What rapper had the hit songs Go Girl and I Know You Want Me?
Pass.
In baseball, the only person that can be charged with a balk play is what position?
Pitcher.
Yes. Pandora's box is an artifact from which mythology?
Greek.
Yes. The H in H2O stands for what?
Hydrogen.
Yes. The first waterproof watch created by Rolex shares its name with what shellfish?
Clam.
No.
Oyster.
Yes. In a standard deck of playing cards, which suit comes first alphabetically?
Suit. Heart.
No.
Spade.
No.
Club.
Yes. What band had the 70s hit song Rock Lobster?
B-52s.
Yes. Vatican City is surrounded by which Italian city?
Rome.
Yes. What is the first name of Ellen DeGeneres' wife?
Pass.
Green Lantern's weakness is what color?
Green.
No. He is green. We got 7 correct, though. That's pretty good. I think Alonzo's got this one.
Oh, you do?
I do.
All righty.
You know,
okay.
Steve's a smart guy, but I don't know.
No, just stop without the butt part.
Oh, okay. Steve, are you ready?
Yes.
Same name as a type of dog. What rapper had the hit songs Go Girl and I Know You Want Me?
Snoop Dogg?
No.
Lil Bow Wow?
No.
Fido?
No. In baseball, the only person that can be charged with a balk play is what position?
Pitcher.
Yes. Pandora's box is an artifact from which mythology?
Greek.
Yes. The H in H2O stands for what?
Hydrogen.
Yes. The first waterproof watch created by Rolex shares its name with what shellfish?
Lobster.
No.
Crab.
No.
The Rolex clam?
No. In a standard deck of playing cards, which suit comes first alphabetically?
Hearts?
No.
Kings?
No.
Oh, no. Aces?
No.
Wow.
What band had the 70s hit song Rock Lobster?
B-52s.
Yes.
Nice.
Vatican City is surrounded by which Italian city?
Italy.
No.
Oh, Greece.
No.
Rome.
Yes. What is the first name of Ellen DeGeneres' wife?
Portia.
Yes. With that, you get 6 correct, which is a loss, 7-6. So close.
I could not think of any of the cards. So
You couldn't.
I know. I know what my guesses were terrible.
Well, you said hearts.
After that, I went spades.
Yes, that's not.
Yeah. What's another suit? You got hearts. You got spades.
The other red
Clubs.
one. Clubs is the answer.
Yeah,
and then
there
there was
you go.
diamonds.
Diamonds. Dude, with the timer, my pressure, I just couldn't handle it.
Couldn't do it.
Does anyone know the same name as a type of dog? Which now I'm realizing a lot of rappers have dog names.
Schnauzer.
Fido, really?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, little Fido. You don't know his stuff?
Yeah.
The Go Girl and I Know You Want Me.
Pitbull.
Yep.
We went to a Pitbull dance night, Sarah and I.
We sure did. I loved it.
Pitbull. That's a great guess.
And they played that song, I Know You Want Me, like 16 times that night.
Yeah, because that's like his biggest hit.
Yeah.
So, Alonzo did get this correct. The first waterproof watch created by Rolex shares its name with Oyster.
That was going to be my... After I said clam, I was like, I bet it's oyster. That sounds majestic.
Yeah.
Yes, it sounds like a watch's name. And then one that you did not get to, Green Lantern's weakness is what color?
Green.
No.
Wow. No, it's not.
Purple?
Yellow.
No.
Yellow, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Steve, on losing.
Yeah, too bad, buddy. I don't have my song in front of me. Anybody want to play that for me?
I want to play that for you, huh?
Yeah, you go ahead for me, buddy. Yeah. All right, well, take a dive into the pool first if you want to. Take a little splash.
That's not it.
Nope, that's not it either.
Is this it?
No, that's not it either.
Oh, here it is.
Whack it.
No.
Yeah. Better be careful. Some of them I don't know how friendly some of them are.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is it this one?
No. But I would applaud your loss. No. Ah, yeah, that's not that one. There we go. I knew you could do it. I have to label those buttons better. Yeah. Well, congratulations. You know what? You did it the way we knew you could. Yeah. So I got some big news that I did not know about. I'm the last one to know. And I literally asked my son what he was doing this weekend because I went to PAX and I figured he would be going to the Penny Arcade Expo too. But one of the 4 days, he's like, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna be doing some hiking. I'm like, oh, all right. I even think he told me the name of a person he was going to go hiking with, which was a lie.
Oh,
yeah.
Where'd you go hiking?
I went hiking in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of shoes do you have to make that hike?
Very expensive ones. Yes, I did end up flying to North Carolina to visit that woman I met at boot camp, actually.
Your lady friend.
I did, yeah.
Wait, you flew all the way? Okay, BJ, you're not the last to know. I might be the last to know.
Yeah, I did a really good job at actually keeping this one a secret as opposed to what happened at boot camp.
Okay. Well, because none of us were around you, so of course it's an easy way to keep it a secret.
That's how he likes to operate.
Sarah and Danny.
Yeah.
When did you guys find out?
Okay, see, I did not find out. I'm his best friend, by the way, and I'm actually very offended and mad at Joe because he did not tell me anything, and I found out on Monday through Sarah. Joe still did not told me that he was in North Carolina.
Why didn't you tell him?
Well, I didn't want to tell anyone. But what happened was I had created this elaborate lie for BJ and Sarah because we were celebrating BJ's birthday and it was his dinner, and I had to get up very early to catch a plane flight. So I told them that I was going hiking at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And little did I know.
You were climbing some mountains.
Hey. Sarah became a private investigator, grilled me, then asked me who I was going with, then followed up the next day asking for pictures, which I did not have.
So you knew that there was something fishy about this.
He was being very sketchy, yes. And he wouldn't tell me. He told me I was going to be really jealous of the hike that he was going on. And usually we're hiking buddies. So I'm already like, but I'm not invited, but I'm going to be really jealous. And then he's like, yeah, I'll let you know around like 8 a.m. about like, where I ended up, and I'll send you pictures. And in my mind, I'm like, this is how crazy I am, you guys. 5 a.m. flight. 8 a.m. North Carolina's 3 hours ahead. So by 8 a.m. this time, he'd be in North Carolina. But I kept grilling him.
So you kind of were onto him.
I was so onto him. And he was like,
Joe, you're terrible at this.
He had this whole thing. He was like, no, her mom's going to come into town. So like, she didn't want me to come into town. And like, she was going to work too. So he had this whole story. He's lying to me. He's lying to J-Rubs. He's lying to BJ.
We're leaving out a key part to this story. Sarah and I went with Joe to Costco last week, and Joe decides to buy a little stuffed animal and says, oh, this is for that girl's birthday. And we're like, when's her birthday? And he's like, on Monday. And so immediately Sarah and I were like, wait, how you're buying her a stuffed animal that was $5? Why are you not just going to see her? We have a long weekend. And he was like, no, I'm not. Well, and so at that point, I think that's where Sarah was.
Were you planning on going when they were saying all this already?
Yeah.
Oh, he already had the plane ticket, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. Did not tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you tell him?
I wanted to keep it a secret because every time I do something like this, Sarah and BJ go crazy, and it's like a game of 20 questions.
Oh, so your family's like my family.
Yes.
Oh, and okay. So the next day, right? I followed up.
Well, I just love also real quick. I love that his lie was he was going hiking, something that you love to do. Like, why would you say you're doing something that you usually take your sister on? Wouldn't you think that would be like a giveaway that you were up to no good?
Yeah, but
or up to a lot of good?
I had one good thing about that, though. Sarah hates getting up early in the morning to do things, especially like hiking. So I knew that if I told her it was at 5 a.m, there was no chance she'd be mad.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, send me pictures. That's great. Like,
that I didn't think about, though.
So then the next day I said, where are my pictures at? Right? Mm-hmm. Well, he had just landed in North Carolina. He hadn't gone on a hike yet. So he waited 8 hours to respond and said, I'll send you pics tomorrow. And I was like, this has red flag written all over it.
At that point, you might as well just say, hey, I'm in North Carolina.
Or don't respond. That was like, if you don't want anyone to know, just don't respond.
Or just Google image search mountains and, Photoshop yourself on it.
Or send an old one that Sarah was on. She probably wouldn't remember.
Yeah, just crop her out of it.
Really, all hikes look the same, Yeah,
you should have just went and found some grass and like some trees in North Carolina and like, I'm hiking Mount North Carolina. It's a small mountain in Burien.
Yeah, well, your dedication is impressive, Joe.
Yeah. Well, so the next day, right? So I was going on a hike, and we did. So I actually, this is one of my finer moments, actually, if you ask me.
Okay.
So I ask the girl I'm with to take a couple pictures of me solo so I can send them to Sarah. So I do. And she sends back, that hike looks amazing. Where is it? Then I send her photos of both of us.
And I raged with happiness, but also a little rage, caps, text after text after text. And then that wasn't good enough, so I called him. And I talked to him and the girl.
So you just had on a whim, basically, to go visit your new lady friend in North Carolina.
I did. And it was really fun. I love North Carolina, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I love North Carolina, or who was in North Carolina?
After you said that, I have no follow-up question.
I know.
Yeah, who loves North Carolina?
Yeah.
Whoever said
Dude,
that?
they have the best food.
Yeah, that's what we're going
All
with.
their fast food restaurants have cheese curds and milkshakes.
So you ate say they have the best tacos. I was like, I'm tapping out.
Yeah.
What? I have nothing to say.
Let's go straight to the gutter every time.
Wow.
Cheese curds.
This is Wisconsin cheese curds everywhere.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
My wife and I had a conversation about this covert operation. And we're like, wow, he has never been interested enough in anybody to travel to the next town, let alone go on a plane to the East Coast.
Like he won't date someone that's probably in Tacoma.
Yeah,
here he is now flying to North Carolina for a girl.
He wouldn't even call the girl back that he hooked up with at emo night in Capitol Hill.
Wasn't she? She was from somewhere far.
No, she was from here.
Oh, okay. I thought she was from Olympia or something. I'm not talking North Carolina far.
That's fair, but yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, wow, impressive, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a great time, and I like this girl a lot. What can I say?
This is crazy.
So
I never thought Joey would ever like anybody enough to do anything.
But it was so fun because I liked keeping a secret so that I could enjoy the whole weekend. But after I told Sarah,
I feel like you just said, I like keeping a secret so I can enjoy the whole weekend so that my friends and family wouldn't bother me, is what's in parentheses right there.
Because I was going to get Sarah sent me, I'm not even kidding you, in the span of 10 seconds, she sent me 8 text messages.
Yeah, Sarah's a bit extra.
I don't even know how that's possible. But after I told her, I'm like, okay, she'll be fine, right? Little did I know she was 4 mimosas deep and literally told every single person I knew. So my phone exploded Saturday night.
I will say I was at brunch with a lot of ladies, and one of my friends is dating Joey's really good friend. So then once I told her, it just got around.
Yeah, it did.
And I still didn't find out till Monday, and I'm supposed to be his best friend.
That's your problem, Danny. You have too many best friends. Joey knows he's really not the best friend of you.
Okay, I could be Sarah's best friend. She could have told me.
I eventually did.
On Monday.
It's time to start rethinking for your friendship.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
So yeah, my review of North Carolina, 10 out of 10, would go back.
So when are you going back? I feel like that's going to be a frequent occurrence.
Yeah.
Now.
Are you going to let any of us know, though?
No.
Don't blame him.
No. Actually, the discussion is her coming up here next, so she can experience Seattle.
Woo! Then we're all going to hang out for sure.
Is that the nickname for Joe now? Seattle? Experience Seattle.
I'm Joe from Seattle. Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's going to come visit you.
Yeah, she wants to come up sometime in the fall, I think. She's very excited to hang out with Sarah, which is the ironic part, because Sarah talked to her for 20 minutes on the phone after I told her that I was there.
Yes, I had to get all the tea.
Did that piss you off?
It did, because...
you flew all the way there for your sister to be talking to the girl you flew out to see, taking away from time.
And I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Yeah,
I don't know what Sarah's going to say. It's her story.
Very extra. Well, Joe, I knew about it, but left you alone. I honored your privacy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course, I just found out about it yesterday, so so I had no choice but to honor your privacy.
Joe's going to start rack up some frequent flyer miles.
He's going to be MVP gold before you, BJ.
Yeah, I know. And I don't know. Manage your budget, son. Manage your budget.
Okay.
No, just get a credit card. Max it out, man.
Yes.
Love.
Yeah. Oh, this is scaring me.
There's no price on love.
I figured he meant manage BJ's budget because it was his credit card I paid with. So
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So fall, that's not like tomorrow. That's not anytime soon.
No, it's about a month probably. Yeah.
We discussed this, Steve. Yeah. Fall is about a couple of weeks away.
All right. Well, I feel like, are you going to be willing to wait that long?
I mean, willing, have to. I don't know. We're going to find out. If you don't see me tomorrow, you know what happened.
So how often are you talking to her? Every day?
Yeah.
On the phone?
Whoa. Well, I mean, texting and then,
I didn't know that either.
FaceTime.
Yeah.
Have you guys done the whole like sitting on a couch, FaceTime, watching a show together thing?
Yeah, we've been on 3 of those dates already.
Wow.
I don't even. Yeah, I didn't.
Crazy.
I've heard about those dates and they seem weird. But what are you going to do? That's the best you can do.
He's in a virtual relationship, but we know this girl's real because we all met her.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
He's not being catfished, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she can pull that off. If so, that's impressive.
Oh, so that means that we have to apologize to all the ladies at emo night this Friday. He's not going to be hitting on anyone.
No, you're taking. You're a taken man now.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good point. I didn't
Would
think
she
about
be
that.
upset if you were flirting with other women?
Probably.
And would you be upset if she was flirting with other men?
Yeah.
Whoa, that was a quick yeah.
There it is.
Oh boy,
Sarah, do you want to
Joseph?
Sarah, do you want to hit on women at the emo night?
Yeah, I'm there. I'll step
I
in
don't know
for
what
you.
to say about this. This has never happened in my life with him as a son. As far as I know, anyway.
See, look at this.
Yeah.
So, like, if this was still like Facebook and Facebook statuses and stuff, would it be like in a relationship or would it be like it's complicated?
I don't like labels. Let's not put labels on it.
It's long distance.
Are you sure you want to say that out loud?
What label goes with secret distances or secret vacations? I don't know.
Okay, so it is complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Someone said, well, we need a nickname for her. Can we call her Booty Camp? Because you met her at
Booty Camp. Wow.
I don't think she's going to like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she has. It's up to you to shoot him down. Okay, that's fair. We don't go with Booty Camp.
Well,
That's fair.
I do like the nickname.
I mean, it's not insulting.
No.
I mean, it's better than J-Rubs.
that is fair.
He didn't get a choice, so sorry.
Look
babe.
what happened. They got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll see until you start hitting the jewelry stores there, Joe.
Let's pump the brakes. I just told BJ I went down there.
Yeah, I just survived one wedding. I don't need another one for a long time.
How about just a baby?
Just a baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beat Sarah to the punch.
I would.
Sarah would be so mad.
And I would be so entertained.
It would be the best thing ever.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, if Joey had the first kid in this house, the first grandbaby, she would be so mad.
I'm not saying to do it. But if you do end up doing that, because, life happens, man. It could be an oopsie. Can you break the news on the air so that we could all experience your sister freaking out together?
You want me to announce baby booty camp on the air?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
I'll make that promise now for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Knowing Joe, I feel like he would wait like 8 months to tell all of us.
Or he'll just bring the child in one day.
He would. He would.
I'd be like 4 years old. Yeah. Like, who is this? This is my son.
Yeah.
This is Joe Jr.
Yeah. This is little booty camp. Little BC.
Joey Booty Camp.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
All right. It is time to change the subject completely. Time for Listeners on the Loose, where, you actually can change the subject. You pick the topic. You guide the show. Call us. Text us at 206-803-ROCK. Your calls, your texts, we'll take those at 917 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Brought to you by Kia of Puyallup. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text. Don't forget, though, when you get through, Steve has a rule.
It's a simple rule. BJ has to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
Oh, we have someone that texted not very happy with us.
Oh, boy, what's going on?
They said, okay, so Stephen King is a huge rock and roll fan. He owns his own radio station in Maine. He got the Ramones to write a song for Pet Sematary, the movie. He got AC/DC to write a soundtrack for Maximum Overdrive. And he has played in a band called the Rock Bottom Remainders for decades. Please do a little Google research before you start spouting off. It makes you sound really ignorant when you're that far off the mark.
What were we off the mark on? What did we do?
I think we just were talking about Stephen King and his love for Mambo No. 5 and said, what kind of music would he be listening to in his own free time? And some of us said maybe classical. That sounds like something he would listen to.
Oh, that was me. I said that.
I think Vicky might have said that.
Ignorant
woman.
I was reading that he said that he has a dance mix, and apparently he likes techno and all that other stuff. So it's funny. Maybe a person has likes beyond just one genre of music. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
you guys need to do some Google research because you're far off the mark. Myself included.
Yeah.
We owe this person an apology.
Yeah, well, I won't give you an apology because I said right off the bat I wasn't a Stephen King fan, so I do not know what he does, do not care about what he does, and don't care if he owns a radio station, don't care if he likes the Stones. I'm not a fan of his stuff. That doesn't mean, so why being ignorant of something that I don't care about isn't really a bad thing because I don't care about Stephen King.
You could have done a little Google research, BG.
BG, yeah. I'm too busy doing my research on staying alive. Otherwise, please call me Barry.
I would like to apologize.
Call me Barry.
Our ignorance has seriously let this listener down.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the information from the texter, though. Like, that's good to know that Steven's into all that stuff. I think I do remember him saying that. Like, I do remember now he does own a radio station.
I don't know if he still does, though.
Or he did at one time.
Oh, he does still own it.
Yeah.
If I do a little Google research on it, I would figure it out.
That does sound familiar now that I remember that, he's a New England boy and has a station up there. And, yeah, it's cool that he's got to do all that stuff with rock and roll, folks. That's great. He also loves Mambo number 5, which then is really odd considering the resume we just got blasted by that texter.
Oh, yeah, there it is. WKIT?
Yes.
Banger station. Number 1 station for rock and roll.
Oh, very cool.
If you do like the morning show, I wonder? It's Stephen King's rock and roll station.
Ah, yeah. Oh, I wonder what KIT is. Like, if it stands for something? Did he do it? Is that him? Is he the guy that wrote it?
Yes. Yeah.
Stephen King so maybe WK for King and then it?
WK it.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm sure that we should have done some Google research. That text was going to say, Of course, here's what the call letters mean, you idiots.
What do you want from us to do research?
That's not us.
We expect the texters to do us the research and come to us in a very respectful way, not yelling at us about what we don't know.
You almost got it right, texter. You did the research, but you weren't respectful.
No, you could have just said, hey, here's some information for you guys.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, right on, man. That's awesome. And we would share it.
It is funny how people get mad when you get something wrong, and then they give you that, well, actually, I'm that guy. I mean, I'm kind of the guy myself when somebody starts talking about Star Trek or Star Wars wrong or board gaming wrong. I am that guy.
I think sometimes you just assume that you have that passion about something that everyone else should share the exact same passion.
Yeah, Stephen King's never done. But see, I'm not a horror guy. I really, really am not. So, I don't know if Stephen King's that good or not that good, to be honest, because I don't care about the genre.
He does have a kick-ass radio station, and one of his personalities' name is Fred Zeppelin.
Fred Zeppelin. I have to tell you something. I feel like Fred's been around a long time. I think he used to do traffic in the Boston area, if it's the same guy.
He works on Sundays from 10 to 6 p.m. What a great name.
Fred Zeppelin.
Fred Zeppelin. Also, Alice Cooper apparently has a show on the Stephen King station.
Oh, has he got a syndicated show, Alice?
I think he does, yeah.
Yeah, that is what it is. Now, I don't know. I should do my research, but I do believe there was a traffic guy in the Boston area named Fred Zeppelin. He might have worked for WBCN. So the fact that he is still doing radio in New England is pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
Good job, Fred.
It's a great name.
Yeah, Fred Zeppelin is fantastic. Yeah. That's right. There should be a guy named Leonard Skinner somewhere.
I bet there is.
Yeah, it's got to be.
All right, somebody want to know, BJ, how'd you like PAX? I saw you Saturday playing a board game with a couple of females, you sly dog, you. Ha-ha.
Wow. That was my plan the whole time. Yeah, PAX was, it's as usual, it was fun. It is interesting though, like the displays, like somehow Cheez-Its have got themselves involved in a video game. And so they had a big display there with every kind of Cheez-It you could want. It was kind of like being in the M&M store in Vegas where you're like, I didn't know all these varieties of Cheez-Its, that were there. Somebody said there was a Hidden Valley Ranch display, Danny. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it for you.
Because it was hidden.
Yeah, that's what we kept saying. We're like, where is this display? And then that was the line.
It's the most random thing ever.
Both of them.
Yeah, I get Cheez-Its because it's like if you're playing board games or playing arcade games.
An entire area just dedicated to one snack?
You can eat them.
I think they're in a game, maybe though. I don't know. They're like, there's a game they're sponsoring. They tried to explain it to me, but I don't even think at least the person I was talking to that was representing them even knew what they were doing. And also DoorDash was there.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, which I guess does make sense. You're right, Danny. Again, if you're playing video games, DoorDash is what you want. But there was cool stuff there. There was Final Fantasy had a gigantic, monstrous-looking hellscape type of devilish creature. Great, that was a big display. But I was board gaming my butt off. That's for sure. PAX was good though.
How many hours per day were you board gaming?
Yeah, do you have to ask that?
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah.
More than 10?
Yeah.
Both days?
Oh, yeah, 10 to 12. They kick us out at midnight. Otherwise, I still would have been there.
So 10 a.m. to 12 midnight, you were playing board games on 3 days?
4 days.
4 days.
Well, no, 4 days. It was 10 to 6 on Monday.
Oh, man. What'd you do with all that extra free time then?
Yeah, I know. I had all that time. What was it? Yeah.
Damn, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, just running around, talking, socializing, going to see stuff and everything. But yeah, pretty much that was the amount of time I spent. I tried to get some exercise, so I walked around a little bit.
But just to the bathroom and back, that doesn't count.
But I really like the new convention center, the Summit Convention Center, which is the new one that they built where the old Honda dealership was.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and so and they were in both places. So they had the Arch and they had the Summit Convention Center. So PAX was, and I think that really helped out because it seemed to be more spacious than it has been in the past. And that's because they got 2 buildings now. So it was fun. It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
Here's a good one. A food question. We got to get one in before the break's done.
Of course.
So it said, hey, what's the best food to pizza translation? For instance, taco pizza, a cheeseburger pizza, buffalo wings pizza. Hell, I've even had Chinese food pizza that was amazing. But what do you think is the best?
Oh, I see.
Oh, man. There's a place in Vancouver. It's a sushi restaurant. I think it was called like Rockies. I'll have to do my Google research. But I think it was called Rockies. And they have a sushi pizza. And it sounded like a terrible idea until they brought it out. It was just basically like just a giant pizza roll, but made to look like a giant sushi roll that was done like a pizza. And it was amazing. It was so freaking good. Tasted nothing like pizza, of course.
But you ate it like a pizza.
Yeah, I had like slices, and it was fun.
Oh, wow.
I did, when I was in Massachusetts visiting Lily one time, there was one that it was a shrimp scampi pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it didn't sound good at first, but they did like a white sauce with a bunch of shrimp, and Lily was in love with that pizza because she loves shrimp scampi, and for some reason it just hit perfectly.
I like, of course, I got to put the honorable mention, the dessert pizza. Whenever they do the cinnamon swirl dessert pizza, I mean, basically they're taking, cinnamon, whatever those cinnamon squares that you get, the Cinnabuns, and boom.
I remember when they first busted out that cheeseburger pizza from, I think it was Domino's forever ago. And I don't know if they still do it, but I was like one of those people that was just like, I want to order this all the time. There was something, it was like, they had a ketchup, almost tomato base.
Yep.
And it was so freaking good. I mean, it was not pizza, but it was like the best of both worlds, man.
Well, and nowadays, like people, like places like in Tacoma, like Puget Sound Pizza, they do that, like their pizzas of the month, and they did like their dill pickle one. But I think they still do like a hamburger pizza that is just fantastic.
Yeah,
yeah.
You pick the topic, you guide the show. It is Listeners on the Loose. 206-803-ROCK. We got more of your calls. We got more of your texts. We'll take those at 9:33 on the Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on the Rock. 99.9 KISW.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and friction and reduce wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99. Limit supply. See store for details. Get Syntec only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
Someone just texted and said, Danny, I saw the pictures of Lily. What was going on where she was performing in front of that many people?
Oh, Cheerfest.
Cheerfest. Okay, I saw the pictures too, and I was like, wait a second. I know that you went to go see Lily in Arizona.
I did.
And I know she's doing the cheerleading thing now, which has got to be crazy for you.
Insane for me to think that like I'm some kind of cheer dad now, because never thought that would happen.
Danny V, cheer dad.
Yeah.
But there was like a crap ton of people behind her.
I saw those pictures, and I was like, where the heck are they? And there's Lily like in the middle of the football field getting cheered on by thousands of fans.
Dude, this kid, I swear, I don't know where she got her personality from. Okay, me. But she loves being in front of, audiences and everything. So she told me that she was going to have a cheer event when I was there. And she didn't tell me anything about it other than just it's called Cheer Fest. So I was thinking it was going to be like a cheerleading competition or something like that.
Right.
Show up. No, it's a full-on. So Tucson is the home of the University of Arizona.
Oh yeah,
and I didn't know that. Well, it turns out it was their opening football game, I guess, or their second one, I don't know. And they were playing Northern Arizona University, and it was something like 30,000 people there. And sure enough, during halftime, they were the entertainment. So they all run out on the field and do their little cheer thing.
That's nuts.
It was insane. It was so cool to see her.
She had no nerves about it, or was she like nervous, or what was going on?
She was nervous before, like during the day of, because we had to wake up at 7 a.m. and we had like a practice where I took her to the stadium and she got to do it without anyone there, just parents. And then, but I think that kind of set in for her of like, oh, there's going to be a lot of people here.
Right.
And then, so during the day, she was like, I feel a little nervous, Dad. And I'm like, no, you're going to be fine. It'll be good. It's like, how many people could be there and show up? There's 35,000 people there. And we get there, and she saw the people, and once she was with her friends, she was fine. Like her cheermates, or other fellow cheerleaders, it was like, all right, I'm good, Dad. I'm ready to go. She made me wear my best dad ever t-shirt because she was so proud that I was there.
That's awesome.
It was so much fun. And she was so stoked. She got to dance to Katy Perry during it, which is her favorite singer. And she's a flyer. So of course, she was doing the stunts. They lift her up.
Okay. You said that term like I should know. I'm like, what does a flyer mean?
I learned that this weekend, Steve. Yeah, they put her up, and she was the one that they do up on and because she's the smallest one out of everyone.
So she gets propped up above everybody.
Yeah, propped up above everybody.
Look at that, man.
Yeah.
And look at her. She's got like the Zoolander cold steel. What was that term?
Oh yeah, she's got the cold
blue steel. The blue steel look on her face, like that. Don't mess with me.
Oh yeah, she was so ready. And then she was after it. She was just riding a high. She was like, "Man, that was awesome. Let's do more cheer fests."
Yeah, I don't remember performing in front of, as a kid, like maybe performing in front of an audience of like maybe like 50 to 100 people sometimes. Yeah. And here she is in front of 30,000. That had to be an adrenaline rush.
This kid is not scared of any crowd ever, because she's also been in plays this summer where she did, and she like got to perform a solo. And I'm like, man, this is awesome.
Damn.
And then you had to hang out with all the other, like the cheer families, like cheer moms.
I got hit on by multiple cheer moms this
Nice.
weekend. Yeah.
Really?
It was insane. I will say cheer moms, they love them some Danny V.
Yeah. You look like the bad boy.
Maybe
they thought you were Tommy Lee.
Apparently.
They heard Danny V. They thought they heard Tommy Lee.
Well, the funny thing is all of them like are coaches to some extent, of like all the ones that were there. And yeah, at different times I had at least 3 or 4 different cheer moms come up to me and hand me their number. And I was like, I have a girlfriend, but thank you. And they're like, okay, well, if you're ever here and you need a date, just let me know.
What happens in Arizona stays in Arizona with cheer moms, apparently.
Damn, look at Danny. Yeah. The candy. Cheer mom candy over there.
It was interesting because I had never really been
like fresh meat. Look at this guy.
Yeah. I had never really been to a college football game before. Like I went to the University of New Mexico, but the football was never really their strong suit. Seeing the Arizona schools show up for that thing, it was insane. It was so loud. You would have thought it was like the final of some, where it was insane. How
that is college football, buddy.
Yeah.
And that's like 30 grand people, 30,000. Think about like some of those other bigger schools where it's 70,000, 80,000 people are at these games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was so cool, though. It was so cool to see her cheer and get to be there, and she just had the best time.
That's awesome.
Get ready for Tatum to do that, because I feel like Tatum's going to be that same exact way.
Yeah, right now the ballet is the whole thing. Granted, thankfully, there's no ballet fest in front of 30,000 people, because I think I'd be more nervous in the situation than she would be.
Definitely.
Oh, man. Yep. Ballet fest, baby. That's next.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do
Can
it.
you imagine in the middle of a football game? All right, it's halftime. It's time for ballet fest. And then the entire stand just goes to the bathroom.
Though, if it's toddlers and they are a riot to watch on a stage.
Yes.
I'd like to watch them just run into each other on a football field. That'd be great.
I mean, it's ballet by title, but it's more just a giant like cluster F, and it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it's definitely cluster time. Let's do it. It's listeners on the loose, 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
I had a couple of texts. One person said, Migs, how'd you do against Russell Wilson, LOL? Another person texted and said, Migs, I saw you wrestle at Bumbershoot as Matt Hasselbeck. That was the dumbest and funniest thing I've ever witnessed. Thanks for putting that on.
I did see the pictures. It looked like it was a lot of fun.
Dude, first of all, so Bumbershoot happened. What a fun time. Got to go. I haven't been to a Bumbershoot in forever. And it really did have almost the same energy of many years ago before it became just this giant concert festival. Because that was one of the big complaints was I was getting overpriced. It was just a crap ton of bands. It wasn't so much about all the other arts. Everyone had their complaints, obviously. And I thought the people who put on Bumbershoot this time really scaled it down. So it was a lot more, it was inexpensive compared to other festivals. They did have some big name bands. But then they also had a lot of local bands that were up and coming and a lot of different emphasis on different types of arts from, roller skating, disco parties to guys doing crazy pogo, those pogo sticks. Guys were flying in the air. Girls were flying in the air. That was pretty cool. And then they, for the first time ever, put on a wrestling show. And it was done by SOS Pro Wrestling or Grit City Wrestling, a wrestling school up in Tacoma. And I got to be the very first match, which I thought was really cool. Myself and my buddy Ethan HD, we were the first ever wrestling match at Bumbershoot, which, as silly as it is, it's kind of cool to know that you'll forever have that that little piece of history in Bumbershoot. But in between all the the typical wrestling matches, they also put on some cosplay matches. So my buddy was dressed as Bill Gates, and he was in a match. It was Team Microsoft versus Team Nintendo. And there's a guy dressed as Mario. And do you remember Clippy?
Microsoft guy.
The paper, guy dressed
up. Microsoft Word guy.
A guy dressed up as a giant paperclip and wrestled in the match. And it was hilarious.
I miss Clippy.
I forgot about Clippy. And every time things would go on, weird Nintendo sound effects would go off. So it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of kids, a lot of families there. And you could tell it was a place for people to go to just chill in between the bands. And maybe their kids were sick of going to see music. So they got to sit down and watch some wrestling. So on Sunday, the big cosplay match was myself as Matt Hasselbeck taking on Russell Wilson, which was my buddy Rashad. And dude, it was so dumb and so fun. I come out to remember our boy Fitz had that old parody song, I Am Matt Hasselbeck, the Sexy Back song. Place really reacted well to that. And he came out and all he would say was Broncos country, let's ride. Every time he would do anything. And the whole match was basically anytime he'd get the ref to not look, he would cheat and throw the football into my boys.
Oh, boy.
And get me down and then turn around and he was just smiling like a cheesy Russell Wilson robot saying, Broncos country, let's ride. And that was the entire story of the match. And at the end of the day, though, Matt Hasselbeck got his comeuppance and beat his ass.
He got the ball and he's going to win. He won.
Oh, yeah, dude. Right before we locked up, the referee stopped because we needed a coin flip to start the match. And so I won the coin flip and then I yelled, I want the ball and I'm going to score. And anyone over 35 thought that was entertaining. I realized, there's a difference in age of Seahawks fans. Some don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure there were a couple kids that were convinced that I truly was Matt Hasselbeck because they were losing their mind the entire match.
That's awesome.
It was a blast, dude. It was so dumb. Dude. It was so dumb. It was so fun. But then there was Jimi Hendrix wrestled Eddie Vedder.
Oh, okay. That's a big match.
And Jimmy set the guitar on fire, and that was pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something Jimmy would do in the ring.
And then it was Frazier, and what's his name? Frazier's brother.
Niles?
Niles. They took on Portlandia. Whoever the two.
Oh, Carrie and Fred.
So that kind of a vibe was going on throughout and everyone was dressed up, trying to play the roles and having a good time, and the kids were having a blast. That's really that's why you do it. It's this isn't a wrestling crowd. This was just a bunch of random people looking for something odd to watch, and I think we delivered with that.
Yeah, the cosplay matches sound fun.
Oh, it's a blast, man.
Yeah. And of course the right man won, Matt Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck.
That's right. Go back to Broncos country, Russell.
Yeah. Show him who's boss. It's so funny, though. And it instantly comes out. The whole place is booing him. It's he's the biggest bad guy in the world. And
it is so
Russell
funny.
Didn't do anything. At the end of the day, what did he do?
He just,
he didn't run over a bunch of puppies or anything like that. He just left Seattle to play on a different team.
We do not know if he didn't run over a bunch of puppies. That still hasn't been confirmed or denied.
That is fair. Although one of the days I wrestled was 80-something degrees and just scorching sun. It was so hot. It was on Saturday. It was so sunny. And we were dying in that ring because it's just pure sun on us. It was right by the Mopop, so it's got that reflective.
Oh, right. You're getting the sun bouncing from everywhere.
But while I'm laying in the mat, I look up, I'm dying of heat, but I look up and you just see the Space Needle, and you're this is a view I never thought I'd expect to have, and it was so cool.
Yeah. That is a fun thing. Yeah, I'm sorry about the sun, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is a lot of fun. It's listeners on the loose. 206-803-ROCK, the number to call, the number to text.
Oh, someone wants to know, hey, Joey, does your North Carolina girlfriend talk about you on her radio show?
Oh. And are you called Booty Camper?
I'm Big Booty Camper, actually.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
I have no idea. That's a great question. I should ask her. Because, I mean, I guess I would assume she does. She's told all her friends and her family about me, so that's good.
Whoa. Oh, this is very premature. I don't know if I would tell a lot of, maybe not my family. You even told us. That's why I'm a little worried about this relationship. You never tell us anything. The fact that we know about her, the fact that we know there's a human being that actually you're with.
Well, to be fair, you guys all met her at the exact same time. So
yeah, I mean, we all witnessed it happen.
Yeah.
You stole her meatballs, BJ.
I would not have known that it was that close if not for Sarah's inappropriate video. You know what I mean? I know you guys knew because you were at emo night, but Joey probably would have still kept me in the dark if not for that video being released at all the AMC theaters.
Because, I mean, Joey was hanging with a couple of ladies throughout that. You know, there was like a little crew of ladies, and she was part of that little posse of ladies.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention, I can understand why you wouldn't guess.
And you know what? Look, I never know who's into who really, but she's a friendly person. So I just would think that, you know what? She's being friendly to Joe, being friendly to everybody. I did not know there was actually some sparks between, because with Joey, he plays everything so close to the vest. Sarah, you know exactly what's going on. A stick of gum and Sarah's all of a sudden in the back room, but Joey, he's always close to the vest about whether or not he cares about anything. So this is a shocker. A big shocker.
Yeah, I actually talked to her grandma on the phone, too.
What?
So her grandma knows me.
Wow, what is happening? You guys went from 0 to 100 real quick. Are you buying her a wedding ring?
When is the wedding? Yeah.
Yeah, when is this happening?
Yeah, that's grandma. I don't know if you should be talking to grandma this early on the relationship.
Look, I cannot confirm or deny anything this early in the relationship, okay? All I can tell you is grandma seems very nice and she wants me to have dinner.
I mean, it sounds like it's pretty late in the relationship, not early.
Right?
I mean, you guys haven't even known each other for more than a month, have you? Maybe it's just been about a month.
Well, they knew each other from last year's boot camp.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know they got together last year.
Oh, I don't know if they did or didn't. I'm just saying that they knew each other.
I didn't even know she was there last year. I don't even think I met her.
You did.
If I did, I forgot. Did I?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's
She'll be glad you don't
course.
have your dad's memory.
This is why I don't introduce them to any of my family. Wait till after.
All right, so now you've met everyone in her family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is pretty serious, actually.
Joe, did you have any thoughts about her last year?
Maybe.
Oh, my God.
Did she have thoughts about you last year?
Maybe.
Did you guys have more than just thoughts? Did you hold hands at any point last year?
No, she had a boyfriend last year.
Oh, so you were on the bench.
That's correct. I was in the batter's box. Got called up.
Right on.
I'm in the major leagues now. Didn't make the NBA team, but...
Wow.
I'm in the major leagues now.
Yes.
Yeah, was that just what happened? Is that what you... Okay.
I'm hitting dingers out here, Steve.
Right.
How are
you? You're riding that bench for an entire season. Just waiting for your chance to bat cleanup.
That's right. Carpe diem.
Okay.
Hitting dingers, huh?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, let's hope that rubs off on the Mariners and they start winning again.
I'd rather see your son win in life, actually, to be honest with you. I mean, a World Series would be great, but...
Yeah. Yeah. All you're saying is we have to pay. We have to choose. The Mariners have to wait until next year is what you're saying.
If we had a pick, I'd rather see your son. He's dealt with so much.
All right. Sorry, Julio. One more year. You'll have to wait in order for Joey D's to get lucky. Well, here's a question for you. What do Ryan Castle and a nude beach have in common? I'm going to tell you at 9:50 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. And now, the Ryan Castle question of the day.
What do Ryan Castle and a nude beach have in common?
Sandy bits.
Sandy bits.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Get a bit sandy from time to time.
Did you say sandy? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, great.
Gritty.
That's it.
Oh, both get sand in places that they shouldn't be.
See?
Frequent involuntary stiffies.
Okay.
I don't know where they...
Wow. Okay.
What's the joke? How do you know the nude guy or the new guy at the nude beach? He's the guy that can carry a dozen donuts without using his hands or something like that.
Oh, lady.
Oh, BJ likes to visit both.
I do.
It's always the people you don't want to see naked.
That would be me.
He's not talking about you. He's not talking about you,
no. No, not at all. Well, there was an official-looking sign randomly that showed up at Loyola Beach along Lake Michigan, which says, nude beach past this sign. But, guys, it's a prank. Don't think you're going to actually see that.
That's a pretty funny prank if actually somebody did. Because you're right. That sign looks amazing.
Until you get thrown in jail for indecent exposure.
That's true.
Yeah, because there are people that love doing it, man. You tell them there's a nude beach, they're ready to go. But luckily, before those folks started just dropping trout, the officials caught it and said, hey, don't know why the sign was put up. Maybe those crazy kids. Maybe Ryan Castle.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he does have a 12-pack. That isn't fake. That is coming up.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How much does bankruptcy cost?
Well, bankruptcy costs, of course, vary depending on what type of case you're filing. There's a certain amount of court costs and other out-of-pocket costs that you're going to have in any case. The filing fees in a bankruptcy case are about $300, whether you file Chapter 7 or Chapter 13. One of the things to watch out for when you're shopping for bankruptcy attorneys or looking at the different cost options is that a lot of times, especially the really cheap places, don't tell you up front about all the court costs and whatnot that you're going to have to pay in addition to the attorney fees. So make sure that you get the full picture when you're comparing prices of bankruptcy lawyers on what the attorney fees are, how much your court costs are going to be, so that you can really make a true comparison.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.